What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode and live stream of Let's Get Nuts here on the Ben Thomas Show. Guys, thanks for coming back. It's been at least 2 weeks since our last show. Last weekend, I was at the girlfriend's mom's birthday party, so sorry I missed the show. But of course, today that means we have an extra large version because not only do we have a ton of panelists here ready and eager to give their takes on all the cool shit, but we're talking Hot Toys, we're talking Inart, we're talking WonderFest 2025, we're talking Hot Toys versus Inart, maybe when it comes to Terminator. We're also going to talk a little bit about this fall season that is, of course, upon us. So guys, stick around. If you like the video today, hit the like button, smash the subscribe if you are new to the Ben Thomas Show, and of course, let's get nuts.
What are you doing? You're completely outnumbered here. Are you nuts? You want to get 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 nuts? Come on, let's get nuts. Let's get nuts. Let's get nuts. Let's get nuts. Let's get nuts.
Hell yeah, let's get into it. Guys, we have our first panelist of the day here. He is one of our lovely co-hosts. Of course, we are talking about the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Adam, Adam 12, back in the house. How are you doing, buddy? Good to see you, man.
Hey, Ben. How you doing? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to my fellow panelists, everyone in chat. We got a packed show. Looking forward to it. It's going to be some really... the Hot Toys and Inart gods gave us some goodness. We've had some slow weeks, which is not much figure news, but the last week or two, they just packed it all in.
Dude, it's been crazy, and as I said, missing last week wasn't necessarily helpful. I think most of the news that I pulled, though, is pretty much just this week's stuff, so it's all pretty current, but definitely some good discussion to be had, and I'm excited to get your take on some things here. So, dude, so happy to have you back, man. Thanks for being here, as is tradition. I saw you were at a wedding, I think it was, this last week, or... You looking all sharp and everything in your suit, and that's all good.
Yeah.
So
we cleaned up good. My nephew Ethan got married to beautiful, wonderful new niece Samantha. So very happy for them.
Very awesome, dude. Happy to have you back. Let's keep moving on here because we got so many great folks here with us. We see this man every once in a while, of course. Some say he is Wolverine. I think he's Wolverine incarnate at the very least, because it's Mr. Dave, X-Men Supreme, back in the house. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
Hey, I'll take that. How's it going, man? It's good to see y'all, Adam.
Good to see you
Ben.
too, man.
Wonderful to be here.
Yeah, this is like the first week we haven't had Wolverine on the show sheet in like a month, I feel like, at this point. So you hate to see it, but we got lots of other cool stuff here. So yeah, dude. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Thanks for being here as always, my friend. Keep this moving on because again, we got lots of folks here. We already have almost 30 people watching live. Again, guys, if you don't mind hitting the like button on the way in the door, would definitely be appreciated. We haven't seen this gentleman here in a while though, and he's told me that Halloween and the spooky season might be one of his favorite seasons of all time. So let's bring him in here. We got Mr. Feel DeBurn, Robert, back in the house, man. Good to see you. It's been a while, good sir, since we've had you here. How things progressing?
It's going good. Hello, everybody. Yep. Happy spooky season. You'll be seeing a lot of me this month, I'm sure. Yeah, yep. I have a lot to say about horror and Halloween. Yeah, the best season I think ever. Well,
speaking of horror,
you could arguably say Christmas, but it's up to your own interpretations. You know. Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. And I see all your horror figures up above you there, so you're already getting the season started appropriately. I watched the movie The Substance yesterday. That's a twisted freaking movie. Lots of nudity, lots of real sexual aggressive themes. So don't watch it with kids in the room. But it was also really twisted. So I would recommend, but it's a really twisted experience. So take that for what it is.
Yeah, Oscar winning for makeup and all that. Yeah.
It was crazy. It was crazy. And it's been a long time since I've seen Demi Moore in a film as well, and she still looks amazing and awesome actress. But yeah, some of it's wild. So I don't want to give anything away, but it was on Prime last night, so definitely check that out. But Robert, good to see you back, buddy. Thanks for being here, as always, as is tradition. Next up, we have one of our mainstays, people think he's The Rock, honestly. But I know him as Mr. Valkyrie Magnus. Back in the house, buddy. How you doing, man? Good to see you.
Doing great. Just glad to be on the show again.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Actually, I think you look more jacked than The Rock now for how much weight he's lost recently.
True.
I think you're looking, pretty good, bud. Pretty swole. So good to have you back as always. I know you said things have been busy at work lately, so I appreciate you making the time to hang out with us today, man.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Last, but certainly not least, whenever I go to this gentleman's house, he wines and dines me, mostly with Hennessy, if I'm honest, and some really good food. Also, pretty standout singer, if I might say so myself. But let's get him out here. We got Mr. J, Mysterio Mionix, back in the house. How's it going, buddy? Good to see you, man.
It's making me blush with all these compliments.
Oh, we lost your volume just as you started to talk. What happened?
Oh no, I was saying you're
me?
making me blush.
Can you guys hear him?
Oh,
I hear him now.
Yes.
Yeah,
I can hear him.
Okay, we can hear you now. We can hear you. Okay.
Good. All right.
Yeah, we got you. How's things going, man?
Going well, man. You're making me blush with all these comments and whining and dining. But no, yes, Hennessy is my go-to drink for sure.
I've never seen a group of folks be able to put away the Hennessy and still stand or like sit upright at a table as well as you guys can. So all the props there, man. It's pretty impressive to see. So, but good to have you back. I think we've got a movie scheduled at some point here in the next little while. We're talking about seeing Tron Ares potentially. So
Yeah, this
I got to get back to you on that. But this Thursday, I still have to watch Tron Legacy. I think was the one before, right? So
Yeah.
I gotta try and squeeze that in. But dude, happy to have you back, man, on Let's Get Nuts. Guys, we have a huge show sheet today. So we're gonna get warmed up with a relatively quick topic, and then we're gonna get to mostly 6-scale news today, because there's just so much 6-scale stuff. But I wanted to pop this up because I was at the grocery store 2 nights ago. And I saw all of these pumpkins out front of the grocery store, and it immediately was like, holy crap, it is here. Summer is pretty much over. Fall is upon us. We can start thinking about all the creepy season, like we were talking about with Field of Burn, but also, pumpkin carving and all that fun stuff. But then I went to Walmart shortly after, and I already saw, and I'm not even kidding, Christmas lights, Christmas ornaments, like all the stuff for Christmas. So I'm like, man, like I feel a little overwhelmed by it if I'm totally honest, because it feels like the year almost kind of just started. I can't believe it's already October of 2025. But I was curious, what is your favorite part of this last quarter of the year? Is it all the figures that finally get released and drain our bank accounts? Is it the spooky season? Is it the Christmas holidays that are upon us as well? What's your favorite part? For me, my standout memories from childhood were definitely Halloween, haunted houses. My dad used to do a really good haunted house in the street every year. So I remember, setting up like lawn decorations and decorating the garage door and doing like all this craziness. And that was always a great time. And then before you know it, I was already setting up the Christmas tree. And I do like that holiday season. It feels nice. It's warm to come home to and all of that. But I am a little bit nervous about the wallet drain of all the figures releasing, though, if I'm honest. But Adam, start with you, buddy. What's your favorite part of Q4? Is there a section of the holidays that you like more? And what do you look forward to?
Well, October is
what do you
always
dread,
special.
I guess.
I guess when I was younger, a little bit less so now as I've gotten older. October was always special to me because that's my birthday month. So, just being like the birthday time, because that always meant presents and all that. You get older, you get less presents because you buy that stuff yourself. If you want something, you get it, and you get older. It means you're getting older. So it's a little more melancholy, your birthday experience. But I always loved Halloween, and we always loved trick or treating. And when Emily was younger, going trick or treating with her. So this is always a special month to me.
Hell yeah! Do you guys get dressed up for Halloween at all, or like do you do any like parties or anything crazy? Or
I don't, but Emily would always different characters she would get dressed up as. I mean, when I was younger, I used to get like the really cheap, what do they call, like the Ben
Cooper stuff.
The Ben Cooper, like the really cheap plastic costumes, and like my mom would get me Star Wars or Batman
nice.
with like the plastic mask with the string around that would inevitably snap. It was like a rubber band, and it would snap off. and so I would have the costume on, but without the mask because the mask would break. So I have fond memories of wearing those costumes.
Absolutely. It's funny you mentioned the Batman. And I see my mom is in the chat watching right now, so she'll probably get a chuckle out of this. But when I was about 10 years old, I was going to be Batman for Halloween. But of course, in Southern Ontario, that time of year, it was like cold as hell, tons of snow, like minus temperatures. And I did not want to wear a winter coat because I'm like, Batman doesn't wear a winter coat. Like, that's not cool. But she was like, no, you have to wear a winter coat. And I remember being just devastated and pissed as a 10-year-old having to go to the door in a coat in a Batman costume. But in retrospect, I'm still on the planet, so I clearly survived the evening. So it's probably good. It's probably good advice. But what about you, Dave? Anything that you get excited for in Q4 of the year, whether it's the holidays, the figures, all of the good stuff?
Oh man, October is the best. Fall is the best because, it's finally getting cooler outside and getting a break from this summer crap. And the leaves are changing colors and they're all falling everywhere and that's cool all by itself. And man, I love the part of the year where I can just go outside, not die from heat in the shade, and have a cigar and just exist.
Yep.
The bugs aren't kicking as much because it's not as hot. It's just great. And Halloween has always been my favorite holiday because it's Halloween, man. Come on, you can't beat that with the biggest of sticks.
Do you dress up, Dave? Or?
I do often. I don't really have any plans to this year. I'm actually planning on being all over the place, so getting dressed up and going out really isn't going to be happening so much for me this year. But I always loved finding costumes and putting them on, and there's a whole transformation that takes place when you get to do that, and it's fun, man. It's a good time.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Mr. Robert, what would you say is your favorite costume you've ever worn at the Halloween season? And you already said you like the spooky season the most, but is it the Halloween period of time for Q4 that's the standout for you?
Really? I mean, yeah, like October has always been my favorite, Halloween and everything. But really, it's mostly all the holiday seasons. I mean, because like Halloween, I get to the weather turns rainy and cold, and I get to sit in my hoodie and watch like old 80s Halloween cartoons that I try to find on YouTube and everything else. And then I watch The Great Pumpkin because that's my tradition. It's like every holiday watch Snoopy and watch either Halloween, Thanksgiving, or Christmas. That's always been my tradition. Really, favorite costume? I really can't think of much. I really didn't really dress up. Like
you didn't. I'm surprised.
Back when I was like a kid, maybe, but
sure, yeah.
But I just can't think of a good one. Although I do want to dress up as Freddy Krueger one of these days because I do have. Man. Yeah.
Maybe this Halloween. Maybe this Halloween. I'm thinking about doing a Halloween stream. So if any of you guys on the panel or anybody in the chat wants to jump on, have a little Halloween Let's Get Nuts, I would also be down for that. But you have to dress up. You can't stream on Halloween and not dress up. So something to consider, Robert. Maybe think about it, buddy. Think about it.
Yeah.
Mr. Valkyrie Magnus. Obviously the leaves are turning. You're still working. You hate to see it. But what would you say is your favorite Halloween film? And what do you get excited about in Q4 of every year?
Let's see here. For me, I just kind of like because we have kind of hot summers. It cools down finally. I don't like the fact that our what do you call it? The daylight gets shorter and shorter all the time. But it's just still nice to have like cooler temperatures and just to relax a little bit more. For me, that sounds kind of funny. I think of Star Wars when it comes to this because I remember when I was 5 years old, I saw Star Wars. And I said, okay, I know what I want to be. I want to be Darth Vader for Halloween. So when I was 6 years old, I got one of those those old things, those we had the mask and everything like that. It was just cheap plastic outfit, but when you're a kid, you love it, right? And I was just so happy to be Darth Vader when I was 6 years old. So that's my Halloween memory, and Star Wars along with that.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. That's awesome. Darth Vader, that's a commitment, especially if you go full bore, like full ham on that. Like that could be pretty wild. That could be wild. So good one. Very good one. Mr. J, I already know you to be basically the real life representation of the Terminator. If any of you guys don't know, Jay drives a beautiful Fat Boy Harley. He's got the muscles to boot. I've already seen the jacket and all the things, so I know you make a good Terminator, and I know you've made some amazing cosplays in the past. But what would you say was your favorite costume or maybe cosplay, and what do you look forward to in Q4, buddy?
Ooh, favorite costume? That's a hard one with so many that I've made already. I would say the one that I mesh with the most would be the actual Terminator 2 battle damage that I did many years ago, or Bane, because Bane is just a lot of fun. It's comfortable, and a lot of people know Bane from the film Dark Knight Rises. So that one comes pretty close to my heart. And then a close runner-up would be the Green Power Ranger. Would be really would be a very sentimental one. Halloween, is my favorite season. Even ever since I was a kid, I lived in downtown Calgary, so trick-or-treating was a very interesting activity because there's high-rise buildings, there's condominiums everywhere, independent houses. So when I was younger, I used to carry like a pillow sack, right, and go trick-or-treating, and it got to the point where I knew the neighborhood so well I had to carry the what do you call it, the oversized pillows, or like the long body pillow sacks, those really long ones, and I would literally throw it over my back like I'm Santa Claus, filled with candy, and come home, and I would share it amongst my family and my cousins, because not everyone could go trick-or-treating. So Halloween is really close to me just because of like my adolescence, how I grew up, and making costumes, right? Making costumes, and then all the way up until late teenage years when I became a cosplayer, and then now being retired from it. So it's been a journey, but Halloween pretty much started it all for me.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, man. And again, if you get a chance, if I'm able to bring it up during the show, feel free to throw me over a few photos of your cosplay. I've seen your Dread, which is really good. Your Terminator's really good. I don't know if I've seen the Green Ranger one. Maybe the one photo of you guys all on the bikes. I don't know if that was you guys or not, though. But and by the way, last time I was at your house like a month ago, your Mighty Morphin Power Rangers display really got me, especially the more tipsy I got. And so about 2 weeks ago, I ended up going in on the 3-0 6-pack of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So I got them in. They look amazing. The only thing is the Yellow Ranger was a little stiff. And I snapped her arm in the outfit as I was trying to pose her. So now I'm like, I don't know what to do, because it's they've sewn the outfit on the body. So she's got this like dangly ass arm. It's not a good thing, but yeah, your display enabled me to buy 6 figures all at the same freaking time. So amazing. Dude, amazing, crazy. We got 1/6 scale man here. My favorite Halloween film is X-Men Supreme versus Hot Toys for not getting him his mofo Wolverine. 100%, dude. 100%. Good to see you, man. Leal as well, as always. We got Mr. Ron E here with a $9.99 super chat, dude. Thank you so much for always having so much generosity and contributing to the membership and all the things. Definitely goes a long way towards giveaways. So, dude, thank you so much. I think you're my number one guy for the day, Ron. I always forget how creepy that one is. I apologize if you don't like that, man. We'll give you a thank you later in the show, buddy. But guys, let's keep it moving here. I wanted to just highlight 2 things, because as I said, we were off last week, and I didn't get a chance to mention that Wolverine, the Marvel's Wolverine video game, is definitely R-rated or mature rated at this point. I don't know about you guys, but I am really freaking excited for that game. The last time I played an amazing Wolverine game was on the PS3, and it was the Wolverine Origins game. And I will tell you, that game, even for its time, you could take guys' legs off, their arms off, the blood, the gore was crazy good. And this one does not look like it's going to disappoint. The other thing is I've been playing Ghost of Yutai now for the last 2 days. I've already put about 12 hours into it, and it is easily one of the most beautiful video games I've ever seen and played. It said 1.7 million copies sold in just 24 hours, whereas Ghost of Tsushima, the first introduction to the kind of the series, which was also an amazing game and also really, really beautiful, sold 2.4 million copies in the first 3 days. So it looks like Ghost of Yutai is going to do very, very well. But just a quick round table. Is there anybody else on the panel that's playing Ghosts of Yutai or are excited for the Wolverine game? I would imagine X-Men, you'd probably be down for the Wolverine game, but is anybody else playing these or excited for the Wolverine one?
My boyfriend actually just bought Ghost of Yutai, so he'll be playing.
So you're not going to see him for the next 2 weeks.
I know I'll never have the TV back. Like, look, I'm going to go in the bedroom. You can sit here and play all you want. I'm going to lay down. So,
it's freaking awesome, dude.
But yeah, I'm very excited for Wolverine. Insomniac knows how to do games, especially with the last 3 Spider-Man games. They know what they're doing. So I have complete faith and trust in them.
Absolutely. Are any of you guys otherwise gamers? Like, have you guys ever got into gaming all that much, or is it more on the collecting side?
I used to, back in like the 2000s, the aughts, I had every single console that was out at the time, because that was back in the day, when if you didn't have a certain console, you didn't get to play a certain game. And I got real tired of getting shut out of games because I played a lot. But since then, man, I haven't hardly played games at all. Like, I still play Knights of the Republic, every year or two I'll play both of those games. And I play Baldur's Gate 3 now with my buddies. But like, I haven't really been a gamer so much. But I'll tell you what, when this Wolverine game hits, I'm getting the most deluxe version, whatever it is they got out there that I can pre-order and get special stuff. If they make a PS5 or PS6 or PS whatever when they finally put it out, if they make like a special PS for it, I'm getting it. I don't even have a PlayStation. I'm getting a PlayStation just for this game.
I bet a bunch of people will, honestly.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
The console,
yeah,
the
dude.
steel books, yeah.
All of it. Every bit of it. All the special stuff I can get for this game, I'm getting for this game.
Dave, I apologize. This question may date you a little bit. What was your first system?
Ooh-wee. My first system was the Nintendo Entertainment System. The very first one, back in the 80s.
Yep, same here.
Yeah, I know there's some people here who played, who had the older stuff. Like, I played a Commodore once. I played an Atari.
I never did.
But the first one that I had was the NES with Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt. Ooh, nothing gets your blood boiling when you're a little kid like Duck Hunt. That damn dog, dude.
I shot that bastard. Yeah.
That dog. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It always looks like he's eating
100%.
after you get done shooting the duck, doesn't he? Is that
yeah.
Look,
Oh,
No, it's not.
Now that Dave mentioned the old school stuff, I'm tagging myself in this conversation.
Fair.
So for me, and I'm gonna date myself because I don't give a shit. Atari 2600. That was my first game system. And
mine too.
Pac-Man, Pitfall, Donkey Kong. That's
Galaga.
Yeah, and then I did get the second game system I got was the original Nintendo, and my 3 favorite games from that continue to be Mike Tyson's Punch Out, Contra, and I still know the cheat code to that, and Metroid.
Dude, how much did your life change when the Max controller came out and you had the auto fire button, bro?
Yeah, I had that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, man. Like, I used to play Gunsmoke all the time. I loved playing Gunsmoke, and I was like, my thumb was rapid fire on that original controller. I was getting it, and then the Max controller hit, and I was like, oh man, life doesn't get better than this. I just push the button and he does it. It's great. Oh my goodness.
As their marketing slogan said, now you're playing with power.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Well, it's
Oh,
interesting
yeah.
because I'd say that the system that had the biggest impact on me, while I loved my old original Nintendo and of course the Super Nintendo, even Sega Genesis, I had a lot of fun with. But I would say the most impactful system to me was still the Nintendo 64. I mean, for me, Zelda: Ocarina of Time will always be my favorite video game.
Mhm.
But I remember the upscaling to feeling like you were in 3D environments and stuff, and I kept thinking back then, like, man, the science fiction of future video games is going to be amazing. Like, what will they be able to accomplish with video games if this is this good now? And I mean, now we're getting to see it, right, with games like Ghost of Utah, which is, again, breathtaking. Like, every 10 minutes, I'm taking a screenshot of the screen, just capturing, like, leaves falling in the wind and random stuff. But I would still say, you know, as I said, that nostalgic punch in the chest that I always talk about is the N64. For sure. But no, that's awesome, guys. That's awesome. I also wanted to highlight before we get into the 6 scale news, and we got 45 people watching live today, guys. Thank you so much. So many great folks in the chat. I will definitely highlight some of your comments and say hello to you all in a couple minutes there. So thanks for being here. But hit the like button if you don't mind, if you're just joining in. The first trailer for Avengers Doomsday will be reportedly dropping this December. I've also seen some word that we might get to see Ghost Rider in that trailer as well. A couple things, but also, of course, for any of us who have now seen Fantastic Four, we've already had a little bit of an introduction to Doom himself. So I am excited for this. Although I will say, guys, I'm feeling like I'm worried it's going to disappoint me because it's almost like it's got too much stakes. You know, like, if that makes sense. Like, when we built up to movies like Endgame, for example, the hype was real for everybody back then. We wanted to see what was going to happen with Thanos and all of our favorite characters throughout the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But because it's had a little bit of a dip, I feel like we're putting a lot of cards on these films, both this one and Secret Wars, to be, or to give us that feeling that Endgame once did. But I'm feeling like I feel like it's overhyped in my chest. I feel like it'll never meet my expectations. Adam, just curiously, is that something that you're feeling too, or are you still feeling like you're kind of top of the hype chain on this one?
No, I'm still feeling pretty good overall about Marvel. I was thinking about this the other day. I actually think they've only had, in my view, two stinkers, real stinkers. The Marvels and the Secret Invasion TV show. Well, Ironheart I didn't think was very good. So maybe three kind of stinkers. But overall, there've been some. But I think overall it's been, has it been to the heights of the original, phase 1 through 3? On a couple, like Deadpool, Wolverine, I think Guardians Volume 3, and I do think Fantastic Four was excellent. So they've had some very good, S tier or high A level films, but I'm still on the hype train for Marvel. I haven't gotten off I have not gotten off the train yet. I'm very much looking forward to this. I think the one thing I think they did wrong in hindsight is they waited too long to have an Avengers movie, and I think they should have had with Spider-Man, Thor, and maybe some of these newer characters that they had Disney Plus shows like She-Hulk or like a Kate Bishop, Yelena Belova. They should have had a smaller level Avengers film maybe 2 years ago. I think that would have been smart, but I'm not Kevin Feige, so I don't know.
You're not wrong, though, because I saw a lot of people, their comments were around who even is in the Avengers at this point. Like, if the Avengers needed to be called on, what's the cast of characters we'd call on? You know what I mean? So,
right.
Interesting you mentioned that, because I agree. Caveman27 says, Shang-Chi is the best thing that MCU has done since Civil War. I loved Shang-Chi. I did not expect to like it as much as I did, but I remember tearing up in that film. I laughed my ass off in that film, and the action was awesome. It's crazy to me that they haven't given him a second film quite yet. But Jay, you have a pretty extensive Marvel display. Right now behind you is your Terminator setup, which is wildly awesome. Let's just take a quick look at that, guys. Look at that. Jesus Christ. Look at that. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. But I also know you're a huge Marvel guy. Are you excited still for Doomsday? Is the hype still real for you as it progresses closer to a trailer?
Yeah, I would say so. I would like to try and keep my expectations a bit lower so I don't disappoint myself in that sense. Like Shang-Chi was really good, and also the Fantastic Four was really good. The other movies were a bit average for me, including the TV shows. But I'm trying not to dig too deep into it and try to find the spoilers and try to find like the Easter eggs and things like that. So when I sit down and actually watch the movie, it's fresh for the most part. And whatever's coming my way from the movie, it's going to be like something I didn't know, I didn't have any ideas about. Same thing that I did with with Deadpool Wolverine. Like there was so much stuff online, and every time I see it, I just like scroll. Don't look at it. Don't spoil it for myself. So when I sat there and watched that movie, like I was completely blown away. So that's what I'm trying to do with all the Avenger movies going forward. Is just just sit back, relax. Don't deep dive too much into it. As much as I love watching new rock stars online, I'm like, I'm going to take a bit of a break from that and just enjoy it for what it is.
Absolutely. And we better be seeing this movie together, by the way, just putting it out there.
Oh, for sure.
So yeah, well, maybe we'll do an outside the theater take or something fun once we see it. So hell yeah, dude. Well said. Mr. Valkyrie, who is your favorite Marvel character? I don't know if I've ever asked you this question. Since Black Adam is not in this one, obviously. You hate to see it. So.
I don't know, because I have like a huge cast of favorites. It's more like teams, because I'm usually kind of like an X-Men kind of guy. And I know, for example, my favorite X-Men character, which not too many people like, is actually Cyclops. But I actually did like him in the comic books. Yeah. Movies, not so much. But I'm hoping he still comes out and does something great. If not, the other favorites are probably like Thor. Now it's gonna be weird. Like, is it Iron Man or Doctor Doom now that we'll be watching?
Yeah, absolutely.
Dr. Man.
Dr. Man.
Dr. Man. Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm hopeful. I think this will be a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see this in the movie theater when it comes out.
That's fair. When we were on Collecting Weekly this last Tuesday, the boys there were asking, like, what is Doctor Doom an actual doctor of? And most of us couldn't really answer it very well. So I did the whole Google AI thing, and some people said physics, and some people say medical. Maybe it's a couple of things of both. So either way, he's an evil doctor, and he didn't go to evil doctor medical school for nothing. So you'll love to see it. What about you, Mr. X-Men? Who is your favorite Marvel character aside from Wolverine? You can't use that one this time. Or team, or like, what are you most excited for Doomsday? Would you say?
I can't use Wolverine.
Can't use Wolverine this time. That would be a cop out.
Let's see.
Flips the table.
I'm gonna have to go with and I've thought about this actually quite a bit this past couple of years, thinking about like tier-based collecting, because they make me think about those things doing that. Sure. But I feel like my second favorite Marvel character has to be Psylocke.
Psylocke?
I love Psylocke so much. Her and Gambit and Rogue. Like, I do keep it X-Men centric for the most part. Spidey was my first, though. Spidey was my first superhero ever. So always gonna be a lot of love for him. The Marvel flagship, But I'm really looking forward to seeing something somewhere with Psylocke outside of that weak little bit of crap that we got in Deadpool and Wolverine. That was not Psylocke as far as I'm concerned. But man, I her whole story is crazy, and it's even crazier. It's funny when you think about how they flipped her back from being trapped in the Asian body that she's been in for the last 30 plus years, making her British again. And people were like, they're whitewashing her. No. She started out white. She was the whitest white. She was. Her brother's Captain Britain, for crying out loud. But
see, I didn't even know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, man. She was awesome. Her and Rogue and Gambit. Man, I just love them so much. I hope to see them finally, properly in the MCU. That would be great.
I can't wait to see the introduction of X-Men into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That is one of the things that I think I am actually most hyped for. And like
finally
Valkyrie was mentioning about and like Valkyrie was mentioning about Cyclops. I mean, I feel like they haven't truly nailed Cyclops yet in terms of a movie representation. I didn't hate James Marsden, but by any stretch, like he's okay. But now I think of him as the Sonic guy, so like I can't unthink of him that way now. But like he has the potential. That character has the potential to be, in my opinion, kind of a Captain America level character that can bring people truly together. So I'd love to see more. But what about you, Field of Burn? Are you still feeling the hype for Doomsday? Is this something that you're more excited for now that we get closer to December?
I'm like most people. I'm setting my expectations low because, like, with Fantastic Four, that surprised me, and I really loved that movie and how it went. So, I'm setting my expectations low. Probably, yeah, like everybody else. Mostly, what I'm really excited for Doomsday is the X-Men crew, because I mean, personally, my favorite is Storm. Now, I don't know if she's going to be in Doomsday, but I'm sure she's going to be in Secret Wars. I just need Thor to throw her the hammer. Just once.
Wow. Sounds dirty, but I'll throw the hammer first if I'm allowed, but gotta ask the girlfriend,
Y'all know that.
I got you.
I ain't trying to be like
It's called Let's Get Nuts for a reason. We got to add some kind of nuts joke in
there was back in the 90s when they did Marvel versus DC. They still had the whole thing like where characters were interacting, where you wouldn't normally see them, and they had Thor and Storm hanging out, and they had like a little bit of a moment there, and someone made a meme of it talking about Thor is down with the swerve. Yeah.
Well, and who controls the lightning if they're both in the room together? Who controls the lightning?
Oh man, you know what? He was throwing her that hammer.
What game is that?
Ghost Hero 98 says we need some spin-offs like Wolverine versus Hulk. Hell yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Peloton says Jim Lee, Cyclops, please. Definitely.
And they're going to be wearing their comic accurate suits too.
Mm-hmm.
Also, remember, Storm had Stormbreaker.
Wear his blue and yellow. Yeah. So save your Logan, Wolverine figures. It'll go great with your display with other X-Men characters.
1000%. Valkyrie, you said that Storm had Stormbreaker at some point? I didn't know
in the comic book, she did. Loki made her her own hammer, which was Stormbreaker.
Yeah.
That was an X-Men Annual number 9 from 1985. Okay, I'm aging myself now.
And they hit on that too in the What If series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't. So I stopped about halfway through the second season of What If. It just lost me a little bit. Is it worth getting back into?
I'm always gonna say yes.
Yeah. Okay. You've been having a good time with it. I also heard the Marvel Zombies is good, but I haven't caught that yet either.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Marvel Zombies. I will be soon. Yes.
Zombies was phenomenal, and I don't even care about zombies like that. Zombies was one of the best shows that they put out.
Okay, I might get Disney Plus again just to check that out then at some point. So, guys, let's keep moving on because we're going to jump into 6-scale news now. We got so much 6-scale stuff to talk about, and we've got 50 people watching live. Thank you so much for getting nuts with us here, joining us with the boys and the panel and the chat and engaging in the chat. Always love to see all of you guys here, and I'm going to say hi to everybody in just a moment. But of course, just a little housekeeping before you. If you're interested in becoming a Classy Nut channel member, the membership link is pinned at the top of the chat, so you guys can click that link. It's only $1.99, I think, to be one of us. So we would love to have you here. Anything that you guys contribute, whether it's super chats or membership dollars or any of those things, goes back into the channel for giveaways and all of the stuff. We just recently gave Manny Fresh $369 $50 worth of Sideshow gift cards from our last giveaway when we did the 24-hour stream. So that was really fun. So keep it coming, guys, and we would love to have you in the crew with us. Of course, this is the Hall of Nut Armor. Most of you guys now who have been members since the beginning are in the Bub Nut category. I'll be excited to see who becomes the first Terminator, and eventually our boy Classy Thomas, I missed that guy, the Classy Nut emoji there, as well as the Nut Kings. Just so you guys know, right now, anybody who is a Nut King tier, all of your envelopes with stickers has been sent out about 2 weeks ago, but we have right now a Canada Post strike. So I got an email the other day to say, all of the letters that you have in the mail are currently stuck at our distribution center. So I apologize, guys. Your stickers are in the mail, but as soon as the Canada Post strike is over, so annoying, you guys will get all of those there. But I also do want to do a vote with the Nut Kings here soon for the next sticker. So guys, keep an eye on the channel membership thread in the YouTube channel here, because I'm going to put up a vote here pretty soon. And if you guys have any suggestions, if you're either a channel member or you're a Nut King, let me know. If there's a specific character that you want transformed into a nut emoji, we'll get Dean the Dream Martin on it for us. Nice and quick. So we also have all of our classy nuts and Nut Kings here on display. So guys, thank you so much for being channel members as always. But let's say hi to our chat as is tradition.
Is that everyone? I keep wanting more.
Nuts!
Assemble.
Nuts assemble. Let's see who was the first in the chat today. It was Mr. 12-inch Moose Stream. He says, hello, community of collectors. Here is a horse racing term. I've broken my maiden. Others might say I have popped my cherry, for I have started a YouTube channel. Moose Stream is the name. Goal of 50 subs. We have 50 people watching right now. So guys, after the show today, do me a favor, subscribe to our boy, Mr. 12-inch Moose Stream. Moose Stream is the channel name. We got Jagron 2, Mr. Lane Kramer here with us saying hi to the Moose Brigade as well. Love to see it. We got Ron E, one of our channel members and the contributor of a super chat today. Dude, thank you so much. He says hello. Nuts. We got Chris Porteous, Mr. Vintage Rebellion Podcast. He was almost here with us today, guys. We almost had Chris here. And at the 11th hour, he couldn't make it. You hate to see it. So, but we miss you, bud. Can't wait to get you back. Trevor Weed here in the chat with us as well, one of our Star Trek boys. Live long and prosper as always, good sir. We got Mr. 1 Adam 12th here on the panel and in the chat, getting nuts with us and asking everybody to subscribe if you are not already. We got Ghost Drone 98 made the cut. Love to see it. We got Curtis Booth in the chat with us here as well. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. He says, hey Ben and friends, you'll love to see it. Honest Hansel, one of our channel members as well. He says, hello fellow nuts. Let's go Blue Jays. If you don't know what the Blue Jays are, you guys are crazy. I think you guys mostly know baseball. But Blue Jays, we're going to win this year. Go Toronto. He'll love to see it. We got King Dingaling in the chat with us as well. Oh, was that a hot take, Adam? Was that a hot take?
As a Red Sox fan,
oh yeah,
I am cheering the Blue Jays. Let's go Blue Jays.
Fair enough. King Dingaling in the chat says hello. Good to see you, buddy. We got Valkyr and Magnus here with us on the channel, in on the panel, and in the chat. You'll love to see it. We got Jose Plus. Good to see you, buddy. How's it going, everyone? Good to see you, buddy. We got Rachel Miller, my mom. Love you. Thanks for bringing me to this world so we could get nuts every Sunday. Yeah, you'll love to see it. Doug Guito as well with everyone. Good to see you. Mr. X-Men Supreme in the channel, in on the panel, and on the chat. You'll love to see it. Mr. Mark P, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Thanks for being here as always. Ricardo Coughlin, yes, good to have you back, buddy. It says hello, everyone, and Ben. I could be part of everyone. You don't have to always write my name, but I love you guys anyway. So thank you so much for that. Figure Poser or Fig Poser, what up though? Good to see you, bud. Thanks for being here. Miss JB, I love you, bud. Good to see you here, fellas. Love to see it. Thanks for being here as always. Oh, we got Mr. Geo, the movie canon. If you have missed it, Friday nights are the nights. I want to say to get nuts with Geo, but I don't know what his slogan is. So get movie nuts with Geo, the movie canon, on Friday nights, and a lot of my boys here on the panel as well. Always a really, really fun show. And once again, he has some of the best intros, in my opinion, to respect his panelist guests. He always makes a custom video for those folks. And I'm like, I gotta up my game. So love you guys. Thanks for always getting nuts with me here anyways, without custom videos. But Geo, you're the man, buddy. Feezy's Figures, good to see you, Mr. Feezy. Always good to have you here, buddy, as always. Also, a really, really good show over on Feezy's Figures there, so make sure you catch him, of course, as well. Let's see. I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Thanks for your patience, guys. We got Tim Harvey. Happy Halloween season. Let's go. Hell yeah. And, of course, all those caustic plastics coming out soon, dude, so I'm sure you are excited. I'm really excited to see that Frankenstein. But Viking Collectibles, evening, everyone. Good to see you here, man. Thanks for being here, of course, as always. Let's see here. We got Big Rip, as Dean would say. What's up, fellas? Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for being here, as always. Let's see. Ash Chase, not Ash Cheeks or Ass Cheeks. Yeah, Ash Chase. You love to see it. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. He says, what's up, plastic crackheads? You love to see it. Thankfully, we're well beyond 5 minutes, so we can say crackheads now. We got 1/6 Scale Man, again, Mr. Layal here with us. We got RG1 Verminard. Ghostbusters is the perfect costume when you have to socialize well dressed up. Hell yeah, because you could still drink, your face is exposed, no makeup, and it looks damn comfortable. So I would agree with that. We got Batflex Pelitos saying hi to Mr. Moose and saying he is going to subscribe. We got SG Collectibles. What's up, collectors? Good to see you, buddy. We got PCR, Mr. Luis, Pop Culture Relics. Hello, everyone. Good to see you. We got our boy Philly in the chat here as well. Hello, my fellow Nutsters. Happy Sunday. Hit the like. Thanks, bud. And who are you going to call the Nutbusters? You'll love to see it. We got Pete Nick in the chat as well, of course. Let's see here. I think that's almost everybody, guys. Again, thanks for bearing with us here. Angry Dog Hobby, dude, thank you for being here. That is a really cute dog. I don't know if that's yours, but I'll take it. Caveman27 saying Shang-Chi is the best. Loves it. I think that's almost everybody. Did I miss anybody? Oh, can't miss this guy, Mr. Steve, Figures and Fandom, saying what's up to Moose and everybody as well. Dude, always happy to have you here. Niculio in the chat with us. Wow, where is my artisan Agatha all along? Dude, I'm surprised we haven't got her, actually. Yeah, that's a good call.
Right?
And then music and collectibles. Yeah, Agatha all along. That was a way better show than I was expecting.
I
was
loved
not.
it.
That was a low on the hype train show for me, and then it was awesome.
That was a fun
SB,
show. Yeah.
what's up, dude? Hello, everyone. Moro Bastanani. I apologize if I butchered that, my friend. He says, hello there, but good to see you. And he says, greetings from Venezuela. Ooh, that sounds exotic. You love to see it. That is everybody, guys. Thank you so much for getting nuts with us on Sunday, hitting the like button and subscribing if you're new. We appreciate you guys. Let's get into some 6 scale news, shall we? So, guys, this was a weird one. So earlier in the week, I did a figure take video on this, right? You know, typically the news pops up and it's almost always like 10 or 11 o'clock at night for me. So, you know, I usually have my devil's lettuce and then I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to create a video for the masses and hopefully anybody watches. And this was a fun one to make because, of course, it was a this or that video with regards to Artisan Harley as well as sculpted Harley. And this is not the first Artisan Harley we've seen, as you may note from this one. This was the first technically Artisan Harley that we've got, the red jacket Harley, which was a great figure. But at the time, my criticism was, man, they gave an open mouth sculpt again, and the original Suicide Squad version had the open mouth. So, like, why do they keep giving us open mouths? Well, to be honest, I kind of now understand why they might have, because now that they've given us the new Suicide Squad Harley, and I was really excited to see this pop up again, if I'm honest, I don't like the expression nearly as much as the original version, even though the body is 100 times better than that original. The kneecaps alone on that first figure were wildly ugly. But the question was posed, this or that. Was it the Artisan or was it the sculpted? Now, the crux there was that they also basically dropped the pre-order link at the exact same moment that they put the slides up and told everybody that this was coming. And so for some folks, that was like 4 o'clock in the morning, which was an absolute pain in the ass. I happened to be awake and then faced with the question, shit, which one do I need? I wasn't planning on doing this today. I was going to sleep on this a little bit and think about it and hear some more community perspectives before I make a choice. But I ended up going with the sculpted version. I personally think that the sculpted version looks better in terms of the likeness, which is odd to me. But I still think I like the face more from the original. She just got a little bit more life. There's something more in there. So I'd be curious from my panelists here, if you didn't miss the window because it was 3 o'clock in the morning your time or something crazy, which did you go with? Was it this being the Artisan? Was it that being the sculpted? Was it both? Which one did you go with? Mr. Adam, what was your take on Harley Quinn here?
I think the body on the figure is just, is totally on point. It's excellent, but I just don't think the face, the head sculpt, it looks like a really good cosplay of Margot Robbie, Harley Quinn. I just don't see it. So I'll just say, to be transparent, if it was a really good sculpt of Margot Robbie, I wouldn't have got this, just because her character. I'm not into Harley Quinn, and I didn't care for this movie. I like the one that James Gunn did, but I didn't care for the first one. So I would have passed on this no matter what, even if it's like the greatest Hot Toys figure ever made, which to me this does not look like it is. But that's just not my character. I'm not into it. But I don't know. That head sculpt needs work. I think it's compared to the three pictures you're showing here. The one on the right with the open mouth, to me that looks like her. The other ones, in terms of the head sculpt, do not. But in terms of the body's like fantastic.
Yeah, and I forgot to add the People's Choice favorite photo of the set, which was the egregious ass shot that they put in the promo photos for this of this new character. I was like, oh my god, it was that on display. Very cheeked up, as one might say. Honestly, though, in comparison to the actual outfit she wore on screen, almost a little more revealing than it actually should be, if I'm honest, in terms of a figure. But it does highlight how beautiful this body is. Like, there was a big, significant period of time where I was collecting Hot Toys where most Hot Toys had no ass at all. So it is kind of weird to now see it so cheeked up as part of the likeness, I guess, if you want to call it that. But Jay, I'd be curious from you, buddy. Like, do you think that how do I pose this question? Because there was obviously a lot of hype around Harley. The video got a lot of views. All of that was great. But has the love died down for this version of Harley now that we're moving away from that DC EU environment and moving into a new James Gunn universe? Because let's be honest, I'd be shocked if we don't see another Harley Quinn at some point. But this is the closest we might have to having both a Barbie and a Harley Quinn in our display at the exact same time. What do you think, Mr. J?
No, that's a good question. I think the Harley that Margot did, the hype is actually more. I think just because of Lady Gaga's version from the second Joker movie. So I think people hated that so much that they were looking for something else, looking for a different avenue. And of course, with the hype of the artisan figures and the hair, I think it was a good time for Hot Toys to come out with this particular version. So I have the original one, the one on the far right there. And I think I bought it twice. So I bought it, sold it, bought it again, and then I actually ended up pre-ordering the black and red one just because of the classic outfit. Not particularly the movie, but I just really liked how she appeared in that movie.
This one here?
Yeah, that one there. Like, I think she looks great in that one. Like, it's totally classic Harley. Even though like the movie it was okay, wasn't my favorite, but the appearance was spot on. For the new one, sculpted or rooted, see, here's the thing with Hot Toys I've noticed. I'm going to say this a lot probably throughout the show is, for whatever reason, Hot Toy blogger photos, they suck. I kind of want to say that they don't look good. They look terrible in my opinion. When I was watching other vloggers during that Toy Expo that they were showcasing this, all the different photographers and the angles, it looked a lot better than what we see here. So I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt and say, hey, I think this figure could be a potential top 5 in terms of like seamless body, proportions, head sculpt, maybe even hair. I'm just hoping that this particular Harley doesn't suffer from the Joker artisan where the glue was coming off and that whole nightmare happened. So if Hot Toys get their ducks in a row and provide us an actual good figure like they did with Bane when it comes to the body, with good hair, no glue, no quality control issues, then I think this would be a top tier figure, especially for Harley fans, I would say.
Yeah, no. Well said. One last follow-up question to that, Jay. Do you think that there's still room for the red dress Harley? Because I've seen some calls to action, some people saying, where's my red dress Harley? Because she was badass in that scene in this particular movie. I'm almost surprised they gave us the red and black jacket version instead. Do you think there's still the market for a red dress Harley?
I would say so. I think there's a higher market for the red dress than there was with the gold jacket that they did.
Yeah.
that gold
For sure.
jumpsuit one, I was actually quite surprised that they did that one instead of the red dress. So
The gold jumpsuit was from Birds of Prey? Was it
Yeah.
Birds of Prey? Was that the name of it? Yeah.
Yeah, Birds
I
of Prey.
hated that movie. The only thing I liked about that was it makes me want a cheesy egg sandwich every time I watch it, but otherwise it was a flop for me. Mr. X-Men Supreme, you said you have a wild take, or maybe just a take in general, but what is your thoughts here on artisan versus sculpted, this or that, or both? And were you awake when this dropped? What was your thoughts?
I am first off, my lifestyle habits are very terrible for my health. So I was awake. I was there. I was up at like 2 or 2:30 or whenever it was Central Time, and I just saw the chatter on chat rooms about this figure. I was like, whoa, wait, what? And I jumped on. I said, well, gotta have that. And I ordered the artisan. I'm tempted to get the sculpted as well. This has been a very divisive figure so far. And I think one thing that most people can agree on, so far as I've seen, is that the sculpted hair sculpt really outshines the artisan. And yeah, she definitely, the way that hair is shaped, the coloration of it even, I think all of those things help to really bring out the likeness in that sculpt. But also at the end of the day, it's the same sculpt. So based on that alone, I have no problem getting the artisan. I think that they could do a little better with maybe the placement of the pigtails or something. They should be a little bit lower, a little bit tighter. But what are you gonna do? It's hair, and at the same time, look, man, her hair changed a lot in the movie itself as she had that look going. It was like all nice and like curled up at one point. Like, how the hell did you even get to that? Like, how did you even do that just then? And then it was like all messed up and as pale as bleached as her hair looks right here. That's what it looked like.
Exactly.
Color-wise in the movie. Like, this looks really good too, but it was not that dark. Maybe when she got all like, when they all got wet and stuff, sure, because that's what hair does. But this is not that. And I've been saying, like, when that Heath Ledger Joker, that 2.0 came out, the artisan, when we had these photos, we were at this stage, I was like, man, that sculpted looks so much better. And then when it hit, when people started getting it, that artisan hair, aside from the couple, here and there that weren't quite, QC'd properly, that looked way better.
Right.
So I have absolutely no problem at all getting the artisan here. I think it's going to be perfectly fine. I'm not at all worried about it. And
it blows my mind. It blows my mind, dude, that this is this is the same sculpt. Because, like, just to add to you there, like,
it really does, doesn't it?
It's wild.
Yeah, because it's so blown out in the artisan photos, and the lighter hair color really does kind of detract a little bit from, because she's got such light skin. But like, look, man, the very first Harley figure that I ever got, first figure I got on my shelf at all, was this right here.
Oh,
this right here. This is the
nice.
the War Story Clown Queen, and I'll tell you right now, I love the hell out of these figures, man. I love my Harley twins. They're always going to be up on my shelf, and I've got the red and black suit on order.
Nice.
I've got this. I may get the sculpted of this too. I don't know. I've been looking at maybe getting like the body of the overalls, the coveralls. The overalls, yeah. Just to put like maybe one of these sculpts on, just because I kind of like that look for her. Hate that head sculpt though. So
I just don't love the expression I thought that I would appreciate a closed mouth expression with her more than I would, and then now seeing it like this, like she is so whimsical and crazy and maniacal and all of the things that when she's got more of the serious look, it doesn't bring out the Harley-esque-ness of it as much, I feel like, as the open mouth does. I don't know, it blows me away. I almost wonder if I can get the old head sculpt at some point and actually plop it on the new body. Like, will it be a color match? Will it actually look good? Would it look off? Like, I'd be curious to see that. But
yeah, but she could be serious too. You know, she ain't always gonna be all.
She's got some badass times.
Yes. She's let her have her range, man. Let her have her range.
Well said. I'm happy they got rid of those freaking knees, man. I'd like those are just. Dude. Poor girl looks like she's got prosthetic legs in the far.
Yeah, this figure looks amazing.
All right.
It's not 100%, but it's amazing.
Absolutely. Mr. Valkyrie, these guys, Jay and Dave highlighted something, important to me, which is, and our buddy Marco, 16fix, says this a lot whenever I chat with him, which is controlling the message, right? Blogger photos are really meant to control the message. And so if you show us something that doesn't look that great because of the photo, immediately we as collectors or YouTubers or people who are just pundits who want to talk about this shit or whatever, might have a really skewed version or opinion of what we're seeing or presenting on screen. And something that, I like about the 6-scale hobby and sometimes dislike is how we feel about these as figures, because in a lot of ways, they're very much artistic representations of these characters. They're art that we're appreciating. And sometimes when a figure like this pops up on the screen, and I saw the artisan Harley, for example, at first, I went, ooh, I think that doesn't look like her. And then I want that to be my first opinion, but I also don't want to upset somebody who might love it, right? Because we're all collectors. We all have big hearts. We all love this character. And then on the other hand, it's also like part of the fun is saying like, no, I'm curious if other people agree with me as well. Does this just look off, or what the hell is going on? So for you, how important are blogger photos for your choice in buying a figure, would you say? And what one did you choose if you chose any of these?
I'd say it's about half because I've seen some figures that look good to me, and the blogger photos didn't look great. But I was thinking, I think it's probably better than how it looks in the blogger photo. So I'm going to wait a little bit. And sometimes it did come out that I was right on that. And so I try to be optimistic and open to it. But I mean, so there's times also where I look at it and then they're like, well, it really was as bad as they said it was. But I mean, for this one, it was kind of funny because I was actually, because I don't know if you know, I wake up at like 4 a.m. every day for weekdays because I work in manufacturing. And it was like, I opened up Sideshow. I'm like, what's this? And so I was like, because I lost out on the previous one. So I was like, I better get this one. And kind of glad I did. But going back to what you said, I try to make my own sort of like interpretation of what things are like or what it is, because like as I said, I've seen sometimes they get hyped up and it's not as good as it was, or sometimes they say, oh, this is terrible, and then it's actually better than what they said. So a lot of times I try to make my own opinion based on, and I look for other pictures as well to make sure I'm correct on that.
Absolutely. We had a couple people asking for the best. What is it? Batflex Peloton says, can we mention the best part of this figure, please? I'm just going to assume it's probably this. It's pretty wild in terms of figure bottoms. Let's be honest. So there you go, Batman. You better subscribe if you're not already subscribed. That was all for you, good sir. I'm just kidding. But I think the hair looks also weirdly greasy and goopy or something. Like there's something kind of off about the hair. I'm not a huge fan. What about you, Robert? Same question for you, buddy. Do blogger photos make the difference for you when your decision to buy? Is it more than nostalgia for the character? And are you considering, either of these? Obviously, the artisan window closed, unfortunately, pretty quick. Did you get in on time, if that was the case?
Actually, I did. It was actually a night that I could not sleep. And I just turned on my Instagram, and everybody was talking about, Harley Quinn is up for pre-order. I'm like, what are y'all talking about? It's like, I didn't even know they were even doing this. Like, I have the red and black suit on order, so what are they talking about? And then I saw it was like, oh, okay, yeah, artisan paid. I'm getting that. As far as the blogger photos, like, like they, I don't know, like I don't know who does these blogger photos. Like some of them turn out great, but then some of them don't. But like with the comic book figures that Hot Toys is releasing, those are excellent. I mean, granted they're based on comic books, but I'm like, well, put that kind of element into, you know, movie figures at least, you know, because I mean, like I've seen like the live pictures of this at the Shanghai event, and they actually look better without like special lighting or anything like that. They actually look better. So I mean, yeah, I don't know. Something needs to change, because they either gotta, I don't know. But JC, Will Fox Vacation actually put this on his Instagram, saying that JC Hung looked at this and was like, yeah, something's off. So guaranteed they're gonna fix it, obviously. So we'll see when it comes out.
Yeah, because Will was messaging me. I think he said that like JC Hung liked his post when he said something's off here. I don't know if that's necessarily like a yes, we're gonna fix it, or of just more of like a, oh, you're a YouTuber, thanks for your opinion sort of thing, right? But
well,
I could be wrong. I have no idea.
Well, I mean, considering the uproar of the whole community, I mean, granted, they didn't really fix the Dr. Octopus scope, did they? It still kind of looked like crap.
And of all the artisan figures that we've seen so far, I'd say that the only one that came out slightly better is maybe the Joker. I think the Joker did turn out pretty good, but I think most of the rest of them looked either pretty much the same as their blogger photos, if not subtle downgrade. The closest, I think, was the Black Widow. That one looked freaking insane. But Niculio says initial in-hand pics are always more valuable than blogger pics, to be honest. I agree, and that's coming from Niculio. I mean, he's got some wonderful photos of his figures. You know, it's always like beside the bed on this table, but like, man, are they awesome photos, dudes? So good job there. But it's interesting. Somebody else mentioned she doesn't have a belly button. I do see a belly button, at least in this one photo here in the center. Maybe it's not as pronounced as one would ask.
It's not near as pronounced. Yeah, like hers is much deeper, and yeah, so like the slightest little scoop, you know, isn't quite, you know, where it was at, but yeah, you can see there's something going on there. You gotta look for it, but it's like the meme of the old lady with the glasses. She's like, but it's there, it's there.
All right. We got Angry Dog Hobby with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you so much. She says, does anyone know if Hot Toys will make its own Terminator 1 battle damage, just like Inart are doing now? We're going to talk about Terminator, so maybe we'll save our panelists' thoughts for that, because we'll definitely talk about it. But to give you my quick thoughts there, my friend, I would say I don't think Hot Toys will get it. I think that likely Inart has the license for T1. I think Hot Toys has the license for T2. I could be wrong, but that wouldn't surprise me if they broke up the licenses that way between the companies, which is likely why we haven't seen really any indication from T2 figures from Inart or T1 from Hot Toys. But again, I reserve the right to be wrong, I suppose. But dude, thank you so much. $10 means you're adding to the fundraiser, and with my pals, you know, you're never going to need another one. This is for you.
No, you don't understand. One fundraiser with my pals, you'll never need another cent.
Another cent. Never need another cent. Thank you so much between Angry Dog Hobby and Ron E today. Supporting the channel with super chats, guys. Thank you so much. I almost said so toys. You love to see it, guys. Let's keep moving on here because we got lots more to go. Endoskeleton battle damaged version from Hot Toys. My God, I have not clicked a pre-order button this fast in a while, boys. If I'm honest, like this was one that I've wanted for a while. Our buddy Jay here, once again, let's pull him up because he's got some amazing figures in his display. And every single time I'm over at his house, I'm looking at his Terminators, seeing the different endoskeletons he's got up top there. Like, look at that. That's freaking crazy cool, man. That's freaking crazy cool. And I've wanted an endoskeleton in my own display for quite some time. Of course, this has die-cast components in it, which is really, really cool. The guns, you know, are so iconic to like James Cameron's vision of the Terminator. I think is fantastic. For me, I would say that T2 where Judgment Day is my favorite of the Terminator franchise, even though I definitely have some pretty serious affection for T1. We were talking about this again on Collecting Weekly on Tuesday last week, but our buddy Eddie hadn't seen T1 before, but loves T2. And said that he felt like he wouldn't get as much out of T1 as he got out of T2. And my thing was like, no, like T1's the beginning of the story. Like when you're in T2 and you see for the first time Sarah Connor see the Terminator back in the hallway of that hospital and she loses her absolute shit. That character emotion is so important. It's so impactful because of her true fear of what happened in the first film, right? But then in the beginning of T2, when you see these endoskeletons in the future and they're crushing human skulls under their feet and shooting at each other and it's freaking crazy, you're seeing some battle damage versions, right? With things that their arms torn off, just like we get with the figure here, or the completed version. I think that's freaking awesome to have in our displays. The question that I would have for you guys in the panel and maybe on the chat is, they're calling this out as being a battle damaged version right from the get-go. He's dirtied up. You can swap out some parts to make him even more battle damaged. Do you think we're going to get a clean version of this as well, though? It wouldn't totally surprise me if Hot Toys gave us a nice, clean, and crispy, shiny option as well. But I freaking love this. This is a pre-order for me 100% of the way, despite even all of the Inart news that we're going to talk about here in a little bit as well. I'm really excited about this. One last thing, though, before I go to my guys here. I do wish that every time Hot Toys gave us a die-cast figure, they would show us where on the figure the die-cast components are. Because I do think that there's going to be significant elements of this figure that when you touch it, it's plastic. And some areas, like the joints and stuff that structurally hold it together, will of course be die-cast. But I'll be curious to feel the weight and the cold feeling of that metal in the hand and see how much it's actually die-cast. So that'd be my only nitpick here. I think the price was fair. I think the figure looks fantastic. I've seen some people say that there's some work maybe on the teeth. I don't think I care about that as much. I think it looks pretty cool. Mr. Adam, tell me how you felt about Endoskeleton Battle Damaged.
Well, first of all, I'll save the suspense. Will your question? One of your questions was, will Hot Toys make a quote unquote clean version of this? Yes, 100% they will, because once they invest in something, they're going to try to wring every dollar, every red cent out of that they can possibly do.
Sure.
And that's fine, because I could see people getting multiple versions of this and kind of army building this like they do with clones from Star Wars. I think this is awesome. I have the clean and battle damage T800, and I have the T1000. So right now they're on the shelf with the Predator and RoboCop, but I think I'm gonna have to turn that into a Terminator shelf. I haven't pre-ordered this yet, but I absolutely am getting this. I've been wanting an endoskeleton for a while. So this looks really awesome. I think the only thing that could really have even made this better is if they eyes were USB powered and not battery. But
yes,
that's probably the future.
That.
That's
agree.
That's going to come down once when they do that with the Iron Man figures. That's the next wave of things where it's USB powered. They're starting to do that with the Darth Vaders. I don't know why they haven't gotten to that yet with the Terminator, but because those batteries are a pain, and to have this permanently lit up in your when you turn your cabinet on or display case, I think would be awesome. Other than that, I think it looks awesome, and General Grievous, the Hot Toys version that's coming out, they did do a graphic that showed where they where the metal parts are, the die-cast parts are. So I'm not sure why they didn't do it with this, because that would make sense to me.
My worry is that there's not enough die-cast for people to be like, what the hell is this, right? Because I feel like if it was a lot of it, why wouldn't they highlight that? I feel like it's just a great selling feature. It also helps to support the price. So like I don't know why they don't do it a little bit more, but dude, you made a great point about the eyes though, and I totally forgot about that. The fact that these are the button cell batteries is the worst in terms of like this being like 2025 generation. Any of us, and we've got a lot of seasons collectors in the chat, so I probably don't even have to tell you guys, but if in the event there is a new collector watching today, those button cell batteries, when you plug those bad boys in and you need like tweezers to actually get them in that are not supplied and all the things, once they're in and you turn that fucker on, honestly, you can take pictures of it for about 4.5 minutes before those batteries die, and it is the worst. Whereas at the very least, and I mentioned this on Tuesday again as well, I think that they should at least, when they're not going to give us USB light up, they should give us some kind of high reflective paint on the eyes instead. So then at the very least, depending on where the light is shining, or if you have a UV light or something like that, these will at least shine red, just like we saw with the recent Batman figure, that what was it called, Hellbat figure. They had that under UV light and it was glowing red, and I thought that was really, really freaking cool. No USB functionality or LED in there, but man does it shine cool. At the very least, give us the high reflective paint on the eyes if that was a possibility. But yeah, well said, Adam.
Can I just ask Mysterio, just real
100%?
quick? Mysterio, where did you get your Harley? Because I've been looking for that for my clean.
Oh, the Harley Davidson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so funny story. I was just randomly on Facebook Marketplace, and a notification came up because I was looking for a motorcycle to buy, and for whatever reason, the 1/6 scale, not officially but similar scale motorcycle, it's an RC toy, just came up randomly, and I'm looking at it. I'm going, are you shitting me right now? Like, is this legit? Is this meant to be? So I clicked on it, messaged the guy. Then he's like, oh yeah, I'm cleaning out my storage room. It's been in there for like 15 years. I'm like, I will take it today whenever you're free. And I was at his house within the hour. So it was just good luck, to be honest. Was I actively looking for a motorcycle at one point? Yes, absolutely. There was this Asian company that came up with replicas that you had to assemble it together, build it together. I forgot what company that is, but that one's a lot more accurate and much more true to scale. But this RC toy is actually pretty dang good. The only worry that I have is once I get the new one, the new clean, or the new battle damage, it might be a little bit underscaled because I know the new ones are a bit bigger than the original DX10 and 13s.
Makes sense. Well said. Well, let's stick with you, Jay. What were your thoughts on the endoskeleton popping up this week? And to add to that question, what else are you hoping to see from the T2 line potentially, or do you think this is it?
Okay, don't freak out, Jay. Okay. Hot toys.
Don't get too excited.
Give me Kyle Reese, Sarah Connor, and a teenage John Connor, please. Okay. Get the licenses somehow. Get something done for us collectors, please, because the T2 lineup will not be complete with at least a John. And I mean, they're all integral characters, Sarah and John, but give us that at least. I'm pretty sure every single Terminator fan out there would be ecstatic if they ever to release that. If not, Inart, pick it up somewhere and give that to us. But back to the endoskeleton. Honestly, I was blown away with how good it actually looks. When the first one, not the first one came out, but when the Genesis version came out, I was at first I was kind of, are they going to pull this off? Is it going to look as good as the promo shots? And then when I actually got the Genesis one in hand, I said, yeah, it's really light, but understandably because there's no actual mass to the Terminator. It's all pistons and plates and armor. So I expected it to be pretty light. This one being die cast, let's see. I'm hoping that it's significantly heavier. I mean, when you pick up RoboCop, for example, it's pretty heavy.
It's heavy, yeah.
When you pick up Bane, the new Bane is really heavy. So I'm hoping this one has, at least in the chest area and the big pistons in the legs, they're actually die cast. Sure. But as the other panelists said, the eyes, that was a huge disappointment for me, where they made it button cell batteries. They had a perfect opportunity to make it integrated with either USB or something, even like a AA powered where the battery's bigger, because it's not an interchangeable head sculpt, right? So you'd think they'd be able to wire it somehow inside the head to get those eyes to light up. The base looks amazing, honestly. Very reminiscent of the quarter scale. I have the quarter scale behind me, so high expectations. If they could shrink down that quarter scale, amazing. The only gripe that I really have besides the eyes is the proportions are a little bit weird. Like I always notice with the endoskeleton, the arms are really long, especially with the fingers extended out. It looks a little bit weird, but it is what it is. But hey, honestly, I'm happy that it's going to be coming our way and looking as good as it does. Great. If Inart could do a better job, then I'm on board. More Terminator endoskeletons, the merrier I'm going to be. So that's that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Big Rib asks, how much do you guys think the Inart endo will be? Oh man, hard to say. We're going to talk about it a little bit in terms of the figure itself, at least the first look at it, but I would have to think that it's still in the $400 to $500 range. I mean, they're not putting rooted hair on it, but I would imagine just as much, if not maybe more die cast potentially from them, but again, really tough to say. So I'd say, yeah, $400 to $500 is probably my guess at the very least. Hopefully it wouldn't be any more than that, or I think it would put collectors off. Right, it would start to offend people, right? At that point, I'd rather Army build these ones then, if that's the case. And that's the other question, I guess, for you, Valkyrie, is what do you think the likelihood that people are going to Army build these? Do you think the recommendation should be wait to see if a shiny comes out? Or where do you think they're... And or I should say, how did you feel about this release or option?
Yeah, when I saw this, I said Army build right off the bat.
Yeah.
I think I've got like 10 clone troopers. I've got like 10 stormtroopers. And I could see this like, yep, I know I saw the price, but I'll make it work. I actually have this weird idea of having General Grievous surrounded by these things, or like as his army. That might be an interesting play.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I am super hyped and super happy to see this. Definitely.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well, and even like the, I've heard some people say the KX Enforcer droids, right? From that episode in The Mandalorian, where they're walking through just like the Terminators would. Like you could really add these to any science fiction display and make it pretty cool. I agree with you though, Jay. If T1 is going to happen at least through Inart, then they got to give us a Kyle Reese, because Kyle Reese is up against the Terminator in that whole film, and that's a movie where, in my opinion, Sarah Connor just hasn't achieved that badass status yet, right? She's mostly walking around in a serving outfit for the majority of it, right? Kind of I think it's like a pink dress from my recollection, but not the coolest look. Yeah, waitress look, right? It's not exactly the coolest look for Sarah. Whereas, yeah, T2, man, that's when she really, she becomes her powerhouse badass woman self, and her outfit's cooler figure wise. I mean, you got the old one in behind you there. That looks pretty freaking great, but could definitely use a 2.0 in my opinion. So
yeah, if Inart was able to do a Sarah Connor from T1, that would be a good opportunity for them to showcase the skills in the hair, right? Because it's very puffy, very 80s.
Oh yeah,
that's
right?
true.
Very reminiscent of Alien, right? With Ripley.
Very true.
I think that'd be a great opportunity to be like, hey, we're here to stay.
Yeah, man. No, that's a good point. That is a really, really good point. But guys, let's keep moving on. But yeah, this was a fast pre-order for me. I am very, very excited about the endoskeleton, and I'm still kind of holding off on Army building these. I think I want at least 2 of them, but I might wait to see if there's a crispy, clean one that comes out. The Venom, also, the comic book Venom, has now been released. So we got some really cool photos of this. I will say, like, I think the main disappointment that I had between the Tom Hardy Venom, the 21 inches of Venom, and this comic book Venom is that to me it looks like it's exactly the same body. I'd be shocked if it's not. The 21 inches of Venom is obviously larger, but again, it looks like they've literally just taken that body and upscaled it to the size that it is. And so if you already have other Venoms in your collection, there's a chance that you already feel like you have at least components of this figure in your display. On the other hand, I could be wrong. Dave looks like he's concerned. So tell me I'm wrong. I think this is the exact same body, Dave. What was your thoughts on Venom when it popped up here for release?
So here's the thing. I keep hearing about how, how this is, just a rehash of
Sure.
the two Venoms, heavy quotes, Venoms that already happened from the movies. God, those fucking movies. Here's the thing, and it's not an invalid argument to say that, you know, Venom's usually in the comics usually pretty smooth bodied character, right? Like he's a pretty sleek design, and you're absolutely correct. I am very much of the mindset that, hey, you know, characters change quite a bit in medium and by artist, and it's been basically tradition at this point for a character from the comics to adopt traits from the movies. We see it every single time. So really, this to me feels like, because we got that Tom Hardy bullshit. I love Tom Hardy, all right, I do, but those movies can go jump off a fucking bridge. That's not Venom. That is not Venom. That will never be Venom. I don't care what anyone says or thinks. That's not Venom. And while it's really cool, the Venom that they have in the game, that is also still not a proper Venom. That's not even Eddie Brock.
Nope.
This is, we finally got a representation of the Venom, right? Okay, yeah, he's got all the texture and everything. As far as I'm concerned, this is Venom showing up to the party and saying, seeing some pretender in his seat, right? And he walks up like Debo and is like, "Hey, I like that texture you got. Let me get that." And he runs his pockets and kicks his ass out of his fucking throne and sits down. This is Venom. He looks great. I don't care about the texture. He can be textured. It's an alien friggin' substance. It can have texture if it wants to. It's fine. This is what Venom, at the very least, you know, visually should be. This is Venom. I love this. If I didn't have so much Wolverine coming, I would be getting this.
So much Wolverine.
And I may get it later on still, you know, it's still going to be out there. So yeah. I may pick it up because I love this. I think this is fantastic. And this is the first, as far as I'm concerned, proper Venom we've gotten. So that's that.
So that is tell me one more time, what was your take on the Tom Hardy Venom again? I apologize. Just real quick.
It's not, look, no Spider-Man, no Venom. The full stop. I don't care how much anybody likes those movies. I just don't care. No Spider-Man, no Venom. You don't.
Preach.
There's no motivation there. There's no motivation there at all for these characters, the suit or Eddie Brock, to really, like, they made a story and it was a story. Okay, great. Whatever the hell that voice was he did, oh boy. But no, we haven't had a proper Venom in film yet, and I will die on that hill.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast. It jumped up a notch. It did, didn't it?
It jumped up a notch. When I asked you to reiterate, I thought you'd be more aggressive. I had my hand on the button, but no, you kept it contained, man. You kept it contained. And to add to my thoughts too, Dave, because again, I was curious what your thoughts were. I do think that the texture actually hides the seams really, really well on this figure. The blogger photos on this nailed it. Like, I was already excited to see what this figure would look like when it got released, and the blogger photos here, for me, controlling the message-wise, were like, holy shit, that looks amazing. Like, literally, like, ripping comic book covers off with the figure. Like, it's so, so good. And I love that they got the white spider symbol on the chest finally. Like, to me, like, even the head sculpts here with the crazy teeth, the smiling sculpt is so maniacal and scary looking. Like, this, to me, I agree with you, is much more of a definitive Venom in my display, I would say, than the Tom Hardy one. The only reason that I'm still keeping the Tom Hardy one, honestly, at this point, was because I paid about $100 extra for the 1.0 version that I got to get that morphing Tom Hardy sculpt. And now that I've paid all that much money to get that sculpt in hand, I'm like, I'm not going to part part ways with this figure now. But again, my complaint was more of they used the same body. I just didn't like that aspect of it. I would have liked to see something slightly different, something that even had like maybe it's not as much comic, but it is more along the lines of like the animated series where he had a little bit more blue interlaid and blue and purple interlaid into him. I always thought that was really cool. But this is no slouch. So I know a couple of you guys said skip me on this one. I think Field Burn, you were still interested in the Venom. Tell me what your thoughts are on this one, buddy, as it released.
Yeah, anything comic related, I'm always interested in. Like, I only got like maybe like one or two MCU stuff because I don't really like the MCU costumes. This is, I mean, they're okay, but it's like I want, in my vision, it's always the comic look for me because that's where it came from. That's the source material. And I still have my VGM classic suit Spider-Man and then also the black suit Spider-Man. So having this between them will look excellent together. Yeah, I never owned the Tom Hardys. I never wanted the Tom Hardys. I was close to getting the 21 inches of Venom. I just couldn't do it. It's way too big. And I'll be like, where am I going to put this? It's probably going to collect dust or something because I only have D-tops right now. So it's like, there's no way that I'm going to move from the shelves and just sit there and just do nothing. Plus, I heard horror stories of people breaking their legs and arms and stuff, but it fell over and just snapped. And yeah, I'm not trying to deal with all that. This is great for me. Proportionate, you know, size wise. Yeah, this is excellent. This one I got on pre-order, so I'm ready to get it. So.
This one nailed it. You mentioned something important, I think, too, for me anyways, Field of Burn, was like how you compare this with other figures. One of my chief concerns with regards to the comic book like line is, will it look good next to my other like movie realistic figures, right? Will this design look good next to my figure display as it stands currently? And I think this is one that fits in both a comic verse display as well as a movie realistic display. I think it fits in both perfectly. So I mean, if you've been holding out on getting a Venom in your display, maybe because you didn't love the Tom Hardy representation, or again, Spider-Man wasn't in that, maybe didn't have the white symbol, like any of those reasons, I think you waited for the right figure. This one, to me, I think is probably the best bet. But no, well said there, guys. Really good thought here as well. And I wanted to share this one really quickly because he took the time to put it in. Just back to our endoskeleton conversation there. Says Trevor Weed says the shipping weight on the endoskeleton is listed at 4.5 pounds. C3PO was 4.3 pounds. And the endoskeleton comes with a heftier looking base. So I think what he's inferring there is essentially it's probably potentially a little bit less die-cast than we might want to see out of a figure. If C3PO is almost the same weight as the endoskeleton, and that endoskeleton comes with more base. But remains to be seen. I can't wait to get the figure in hand either way. This one, though, talking about comic displays and our Doctor Doom discussion earlier today, right? Whereas the, you know, Doomsday film from the MCU is on the way. RDJ is coming back as Doctor Doom, so we are going to get our own MCU representation. I'm confident of it in figure format, especially if the film does well. We'll probably get multiple if the film does well. But wow, did they go hard on these pictures. Like, blogger photo-wise, this comic Doom looks so good. My biggest thing is that I don't have much of a connection to Doctor Doom yet because I didn't read any comics with him in it. The only I shouldn't say that. The only comic I actually did read with him in it was Doctor Doom literally ripping the spine out of Thanos. That was a pretty cool one. Other than that, though, I don't have much connection to Doom, so I didn't buy this figure, even though this is kind of the look that I want to see in my display. This is definitely the, you know, at least in the vein of look I'm really hoping RDJ has. From the very brief glimpse we saw of him in the Fantastic Four, I feel like this is in the same range at the very least of what we'll see with RDJ. But like, if you're a Doom fan, especially in the comics, to me this is absolutely freaking nailing it. So I was curious what you guys had to say on this one here. Adam, let's go to you, buddy, first, because we didn't get your take on the last one. What was your thoughts on Doctor Doom here, comic version?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Doom from the comics. You know, back in the Secret Wars, the original Secret Wars miniseries from the '80s, and his appearances and all across Marvel, and even from the the Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends cartoon, which I grew up watching, and some of the cartoons back in the day. So one of the greatest Marvel villains that has yet to properly be seen on film. So he's appeared in previous Fantastic Four films, but I don't think those are very good takes on him. I'm pretty confident that given the type of actor that RDJ is, and the guy's an Academy Award winner, phenomenal actor, and his what they're doing with I assume him being a variant of Tony Stark. I think that adds another dimension to it. So I'm very much looking forward to his take in Doomsday, and presumably in Secret Wars. I'm getting this. I actually just got charged by Sideshow my final payment today. So I assume this shockingly, this came out last week. So I can't believe how quickly Sideshow is getting this. So I presume I'm getting this in the next week or so. I really, I know one argument is, well, should I wait till the film? Because predominantly, other than the black suit Spider-Man, all my Marvel figures are MCU related. But to me, I think based on what I saw in Fantastic Four and a kind of promo picture, I imagine that the Doomsday version is pretty similar to what we're seeing here. And if it's a minor tweak, that doesn't bother me, because the way I see it, you're not going to get, let's say Hot Toys announces the RDJ version of the figure. That's going to be announced. The film comes out next December of 2026. So probably around November, December, January is when they announce the figure. And then that figure, most likely, though there's been some exceptions, most likely that figure is not going to come out for 18 months to 2 years after that. So in the meantime, I'll have this figure presumably in the next week or two. And I can always get another if I really love the movie, just like I've gotten multiple Wolverines, multiple Iron Man, multiple Captain America, multiple Spider-Man. I could see a world where I have a figure with the mask like this, and then a Doctor Doom with the mask off and Robert Downey Jr.'s head sculpt. Or I actually saw a video, I don't know if it was a Figure Hideout or who it was, but someone did an unboxing of this over the weekend, and they just took an Iron Man head sculpt, a Tony Stark head sculpt, and put it on the figure with the robe on, and it looked freaking awesome. So that's awesome. I mean, a lot of people, if you have multiple Wolverines, or you can probably just go on Toy Anxiety or on eBay and just get an extra Tony Stark head sculpt and just put it on the figure if you really want to do that.
Absolutely. This was the screenshot that I wanted to show you guys as well. Again, this is Doom ripping Thanos' spine out of his body in a gnarly way. So
that's so cool.
God, my hype is pretty high. I will give it credit. I think I'm more excited. And you're right, in my opinion, Adam, that like in terms of the figure itself, that was a good question. Like, do you wait for the RDJ one or not? This does give you the opportunity to enjoy the character for quite some time. Again, like the Venom, in a way that would still fit really well with your movie realistic looking display, until such a time that you decide whether or not you like the new look more than maybe this classic comic look. So Field of Burn, I know you're a comic guy yourself. What were your thoughts here on this comic representation of Doom?
See, back in the day, I had bought the third-party S-Hero Doom Monarch figure. I still have it now. I mean, back then, I didn't really like it, but after a few tweaks to it, I kind of appreciate it more. And I was thinking, well, maybe I can, with this, maybe I can do like an upgrade or something. But, I was like, yeah, I'm still good with my third party. It's still a good figure. But this is really excellent looking. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of sorry that I passed on it, but then again, I'm like, well, if I really do want it, I can always get it down the line. But yeah, this is doomed to me. I mean, everybody's saying, well, I'm just gonna wait on the RDJ version. Well, you know he's gonna have the mask off like half of the movie until like the action scenes happen at the end, and then he puts his mask on. It's like, that's not doomed to me. I'm sorry. That's like that's movie doom. And I just my Doom always wears a mask because he has a burnt face underneath the mask. He never takes it off. And so this is excellent. They did a really good job. See, if they put this much effort into like the Harley, like the backdrop and like the colors and everything, because let me tell you, no figure it looks good in a gray backdrop. None. Let's just face it right now. No figure looks good in a gray plain backdrop. You gotta add some pop of color, you know, little things to it just to add some attention around the figure, you know. But yeah, this is the only thing I wish they would have done instead of this, you know, banner. I wish they would have given us a throne. I would really like a throne.
The throne would have been sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, throne would have been real sweet. I will challenge you on the gray background piece though. I don't mind the gray background, and I only say that because when figure photos like this in particular are done this well, I'm like, oh my god, that like sells me on this figure. But then I see companies like Exo6, which like I talk about Star Trek Exo6 figures quite a lot, and they commonly will put their figure kind of overlaid what basically looks like they've cut and pasted it on an Apple iPhone onto a Star Trek background, and it looks like shit. It's grainy, it's blurry, it doesn't look right, doesn't like the proportions don't make sense. And those are the figures that I'm like, god, like these figures don't look that great to begin with in a lot of ways. Put it on a gray background so we can actually see what we're buying, because if you're gonna if it's not gonna be a clear photo, don't do it, right? And so I kind of agree with you and disagree with you all at the same time. That's when I'm like, I call for the gray background. Like, please, for the love of God, I just want to see if it's a good figure or not. Whereas this one, I agree with you though. This really brings it to life and really sells me on it. So these photos did a really, really good job. So I can see benefits and pitfalls to definitely both. The gray background is not the most exciting way to sell a figure. That's for sure. I agree with you on that one, buddy. So, but guys, let us know in the comments, of course, and if you're watching on replay, was the Venom one that you put in your basket for the comic line or this comic Doom? Are you into the comic line? What else are you excited to see from comic line? Because let's be honest, man, like there is so much cool shit that the comic line could do. I'm really hoping to see a little bit more comic inspired Batman, and just so many other franchises that could come out of it. So hell yeah, X-Men. Hell yeah, dude. I see you there, Mr. Dave. So we also have over 70 people watching live right now, guys. Thank you so much for getting nuts with us here on a Sunday, as is tradition. Again, for the folks who are just joining us, if you don't mind hitting the like button, it would definitely be appreciated, especially if you're enjoying the show. We've got a couple more hot toys, and then we're going to talk about Inart and WonderFest 2025 as well. This one got released this week. We're talking here about the Batman Armory 2.0 set. Now, this was disappointing for me, if I'm honest. I made a video earlier this week, you guys might have seen it, of why I canceled mine. And I was devastated to cancel, if I'm honest, because behind me here, have all the Batmans up on the top shelf. And I'm still rocking the DX12 Batman with the original Armory cowl and a Jackson Jew head sculpt, or sorry, cape. So basically, like, I've kind of kit bashed my own Batman. Now, the downfall of that DX12 Batman is proportionally, he's a little on the small side. So characters like Bane beside him are really big now in comparison to that old body. So I was really excited to upgrade. And of course, they'd given us the DX19, and then we got the Dark Knight Rises Armory a couple months back. But I was really hanging my hat on the DX, or this DX set, where like with the Batman Armory 2.0 from the Dark Knight proper film. For me, there was a couple things that made me cancel, if I'm completely honest. The biggest one for me, I should say the biggest, maybe two main factors that made me cancel this. While I understand that the carbon fiber look of the outfit gives some depth and dimension to the Batsuit so that it's not completely black like my old DX12 was, in my opinion, they overdid it just a little too much with this one, just like they did with the Rises Armory, where it looks a little bit on the green side, if I'm honest, and to the point where it's off-putting for me. Again, I get what they're trying to do with it, but I don't love that look of it. I would rather see it a little darker, if I'm honest, at least for the Batman side of it. And then the Bruce Wayne that comes with it, which again, they didn't give us just a Dark Knight here. Again, they gave us a 2-pack. And of course, if I'm going to spend Canadian dollars, well over $800 to get this set in my display and take up a pretty significant footprint in my display, I need both characters, both figures, in my opinion, to be display worthy. And I don't want to try and leave one in the box just because I don't love it enough. I don't think this Bruce Wayne's good. I don't like the look of it. I see Christian Bale in the sculpt, but I don't see Christian Bale from that time period in his life. I think they've aged him too much. He looks really kind of like weathered and oddly aggressive. The proportions of the body are also kind of strange to me. The neck, I don't know if they've got the neck peg just jammed in a little too far in the photos, but he doesn't look like he's got a long enough neck. He looks more filled out in the body. Suit-wise, I think the suit is actually pretty solid. The tailoring, the look of the outfit, I think that's pretty good. But for me, it's the sculpt. It just, as I said, I know it's him. I can see it, but I don't think it looks enough like Bruce Wayne from the reference photos that we actually have, right? And that's the crazy part to me. Whereas this set overall is so scene specific that then why would they not model their figure and the design after literally screenshots from that direct scene? Because if they did that, just like the side-by-side comparison, I'm shocked that they said this is good enough, put it out to collectors. So I canceled mine because, for over $800 for the footprint it's going to take up, I said, no, I'm going to stick with my modded DX12 and just wait for the next company, either Inart, to do a Batman from Dark Knight, or maybe just a singular pack at some point or something like that from Hot Toys. But I had to cancel, and I was kind of bummed. So I was curious from you guys here in terms of the Batman. Let's go to you, Valkyrie, because I don't think we got you on the last one. What were your thoughts here on Batman, or the Dark Knight, I should say, the Armory 2.0 set?
I remember when this first came out, and I was like, I really wanted it. It looks great. At this point, just because I'd like to have a little bit more Dark Knight stuff, and the sculpt, yeah, it's not that great, but I still want that. I still want the set. I think just the whole display still looks great, and maybe I push Bruce Wayne or a little bit further back so he's not too noticeable. Because yeah, I agree that face sculpt isn't the best, or not even almost worth not showing in a display. But I'll just keep it in there because I think that whole display, the whole armory, just looks awesome and amazing to me. So I still want to get it, and I think it's paid off for me now. So I'm just waiting for it to deliver. But
absolutely,
I think it's good. It's still a nice piece to have in a collection, to be honest, for me.
It's a beautiful piece, and I think that was the hard part for me, is that if the price tag was a little bit lower, if I liked the Bruce Wayne just a little bit more, or if they toned down kind of the green look in the carbon fiber weave there, I think it would have been an absolute win for me, but it just wasn't quite it, which blows me away because they've made so many Dark Knight figures already. But the Armory is beauty. I mean, like, it really is. It's going to set people's figures displays apart 100%. That was my only other critical aspect there, was that the lighting that they gave the Armory was like this bright white lighting, whereas in the Armory itself it had actually like more of a warm tone lighting. So again, an odd miss in my opinion. But Ron E here says Hot Toys has been getting a little out of hand with the wrinkles, Han, Peacemaker, and now Bruce. I agree. It's weird to me when you see some of these sculpts looking just like absolutely like insanely good, and then you see some that are like, what the hell? What? How did that get past? Like, what the hell? Like, especially after all of these figures, I still think that the DX12 Bruce Wayne head sculpt looks more like Christian Bale of that era than these new ones, which does not make sense. There's Josh Brolin head sculpt. I'd love to see it. Figure craft with a $5. Man, poor Josh Brolin. Anytime a figure is like, man, it kind of looks ugly and he's poorly, wrinkled and aged, Looks like fucking Josh Brolin. You hate to see it. Figurecraft with a $5 super chat says, speaking of Batman, go check out my Batman or Batcave diorama on my channel. Not the Dark Knight, it's a multiverse Batcave. Dude, yes, after Let's Get Nuts today, guys, please go over to Figurecraft YouTube channel and take a watch, because my God,
it's incredible.
honestly, it's so good. It's so good. So,
It's disgusting.
And Figurecraft,
It's absolutely disgusting how good it is.
It's disgusting in a good way. Yeah, absolutely. You love to see it. And Philly, I was going to end the show right now because of my loathingness for this Bruce Wayne sculpt, but because you gave us $5 in super chat, this is fine.
I'll stay.
I'll stay because there's more to talk about here. But dude, thank you so much for your generosity, Mr. Philly. Always appreciate you, buddy. Music and Collectible says the only reason I'm keeping this order is because of the Armory. The head sculpt and the proportions of the Bruce Wayne figure are just not great. Yeah, the Armory is the standout piece. Erman Hazim says, one of my friends posted on a story regarding Bale's Dark Knight. He posted a photo of the plain Christian Bale's head sculpt of 1/6 scale from Inart. So yeah, that'd be crazy. I mean, the wait for Inart is definitely the trend lately, right? See what Inart will do. I just don't always want to bank on it, and it's also likely years away from actually being in my display if Inart even announced it tomorrow, right? And so that's got to be part of that calculus when you're thinking about the Inart versus Hot Toys conversation. But still, it does look really good. Guys, let's move on here to WonderFest 2025, the new reveals that are popping up here. Let's be honest. It's a good time to be a Terminator fan if you're a 6-scale collector, right? I mean, I've wanted Terminator in my display for a while. I've still got the MMS 117 behind me, and it's, this is before the DXs and stuff, and like MMS 117, we're well into the 700s now, right? Which is crazy when you think about how many figures have come since then. But that old figure is still pretty great for its time. It didn't have leather; it was pleather jacket and it had the box of roses and stuff. But I still see Arnie in there. For me, again, T2 is definitely my jam, I think, the most. If I was going to go T1, I do like this look. I would also love to see the Tech Noir look for T1. I think that would be a really cool look for him. And wouldn't be totally surprised to not see that from him. But T1 battle damaged, as well as a clean opportunity here from Inart. I was curious, who was excited for this in terms of the panel or in terms of our chat. Let us know, guys, if you were excited to see Inart popping on the scene here with Terminator. But it also comes down to how many Terminators does one need in our display. If it's Jay, he probably says all of the Terminators. All of them. Yep. Fair. Yeah, fair. But for me, I don't think I need all of them. And as a result, what's then the best version? What's the best representation to show your nostalgic love for the Terminator display? So Jay, I'll start with you actually first on this one, buddy. Now that Inart's popping up on the scene for T1, what was your thoughts here on what we're seeing? And Jay, I'll go to you, and then I'll go to Adam next. What are your thoughts, Jay?
This one's a little bit interesting. At first, I wasn't that impressed, but then when I started looking at it more closely, looking at the details, it looks pretty decent. The battle damage, I always thought to myself, are they going off the actual facial features of Arnold as a human being, or are they doing the animatronics? Because it looks a little bit weird. I don't know. There's a couple things that they could tweak. It could be also the angles of the photos, and I understand this is a prototype, but at the end of the day, it looks good enough for it to be passable, and I know it's going to improve even more. The clean version, that sculpt is a little bit off. I would say his face looks a little bit too narrow. The gargoyle glasses is kind of off a little bit, but I could sit here and nitpick all day. But on a positive note, I'm just happy that they're releasing more from the Terminator 1. If they are going to do a Tech Noir, that would be fantastic. Or even if they were to do the bathroom scene where his eye is blown out and he's fixing his arm. If they're going to do that with a seamless body, I think that'd be a good opportunity for them to release that with a very decent diorama, just like how they did with Joker. Right now, we all know that Inart's base and dioramas are pretty spot on. I mean, look at the Jokers that they've been doing. So I think this would be a good opportunity for Inart to really showcase what they're capable of doing, what they're able to give to us. if they were to go with a tech noir version, again, rooted hair would be really, really good with the longer hair that he had during that time. So, will this be a pre-order for me? Absolutely. Will it be 2 of them? Most likely.
Nice.
So I'm excited. Honestly, I'm excited. With a short hair, with the police shootout version. If they release a single pack, I'll take it. If they release that dual pack, I'll take it as well. More the merrier for me.
Sticking with you then too, Jay, before we go to Adam, they also showed us the endoskeleton from T1 as well, which is a little bit different than the T2 one that we saw earlier today in the show. I see the biggest comment being the big square chunky feet, but I haven't had a good reference photo necessarily of what that looked like in movie props, so I'm not sure how accurate or not accurate that is. Would this be something that you would put in the display potentially as well? I've seen a couple of collectors in the chat saying this is supposed to be all metal, or at least that's what Inart has told us.
If this was a full metal, yes, please, absolutely. The only thing that's a bit different with the endoskeletons for sure is they're actually a different sculpt or a different design from the first movie to the second movie. The feet was quite different from what I remember. But looking at this one here particularly, if it is going to be full metal, props to them. Scaling down something to that small, to that size, doing full metal is... I can't imagine the work that goes into it. I know there's quite a few custom Terminator makers out there that do full metal, and it takes them months to do. And there's so much work that goes into it. So, props to them. Hats off. Amazing. I'm just hoping that Inart will take all of the weaknesses that Hot Toys has and make it their strength, like the good diorama base, the light up eye features with USB or a bigger battery like a double AAA. What else? Magnetic base, maybe.
I saw that they had like what looked like a magnetic function for the eyes that turn the eyes on.
Yeah, there's a
right.
video that shows the magnet turning on the eyes. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. No,
Yeah,
that's
that'd be
good.
pretty sweet. Yeah, if they're going to like increase the price by like maybe up to $100 in comparison to Hot Toys, I think people will have a good option of what they want to pay for when it comes to materials and how accurate they want it, because it's not going to be exactly the same, obviously. So, let's see how it turns out in the next couple of months and what Inart will offer as it comes to what the total package is going to actually be.
Absolutely. Shout out to Final Girl 27 says she's getting this and she's new to the chat. Thank you so much for getting nuts with us on Sunday. Hopefully you are enjoying the show and we'll see you again. Game Shift 2020 says feet are a bit too big, which is fair, and also mentions that PT Studios did a 1/6 metal endo and was around $4,000. Oh my god, that's a little too rich for my blood. It's interesting, when we talk about materials, right? I think because at least 99% of the time, once I take a figure out of the box and I figure out a good pose for it and it goes on the display shelf, as long as it's convincing to look at, you never really touch them most of the time again until 6 months from now, you'd maybe tweak the pose just a little bit. But I don't know, sometimes like a full metal body is like, I don't even know if is that excessive? Do I need that? I don't know, remains to be seen. Mr. Dave, you got your hand up. What do you think?
Did you say $4,000
For PT Studios, yeah.
for a 6? Does PT stand for platinum?
Platinum tier.
Is that what it was? Is it actually made of platinum?
Maybe.
What the?
Yeah,
What?
That
What?
is crazy.
That's insane, dude. What? Ooh. Ooh,
Absolutely.
boy. I want to see the guy who's got that. No, I don't. That guy's not a fun guy to hang out with. Never mind. No,
He's got Corvettes too. Don't worry about
Nah.
it. Don't worry about it.
Don't judge me, all right?
Wow! Flex!
I
You'll
got
have
a
to see
scale
it.
fat boy, by the way. Hey, just
He said-
remember.
That's right. He said there's only 10 units made, so fair.
Have
I
you
guess,
seen
that's
that, dude?
That is insane.
Did you see that, Mysterio?
No, I haven't.
No,
Dude, that's crazy. I want to see. I gotta look that up.
that's crazy.
You can
While you look that up,
Jeez.
Oh my god, yeah. You could well yeah, you could or like a life size character almost, or at least half a life size, at least like a really solid Terminator bust, I would think, of like an endoskeleton, maybe for that kind of money, right? Which I think would arguably be potentially cooler in a display room. But Adam, Jay mentioned some good points as well, that people are saying that the likeness on these figures looks just a little bit off, almost like they're representing the animatronic look of Terminator versus the actual Arnie in character, look from the film. I agree and disagree with that. I think he looks a little uncanny, because I think sometimes our recollection of Arnie is kind of the T2 and beyond look for him. But in that first movie, he does look a little different. Like, he's much younger looking in that first film, and I think they captured that okay here. What were your thoughts when they mentioned both the T1 figures, but also the endoskeleton?
I'm excited for this figure. I haven't picked up the Hot Toys. The Hot Toys one is in kind of older figure, so I haven't bothered to get that. I was hoping that Hot Toys would come out with the 2.0, and I know someone in chat asked earlier if we think that Hot Toys would come out with their version of the Terminator 1 figure. And I guess, my question is, well, the answer will be if Inart's license is global, or is it just in Asia and in certain countries? So if this license is to sell directly to the United States, to Canada, to North America, to Europe, then Hot Toys is probably not going to come out with it. But if this license is just for the Asian market and a few other places, then I think there's a good chance that Hot Toys is going to have this figure. I don't know the answer to that question, and I'm not sure if they said that at the WonderFest. Whatever the case might be, I think this looks real. I think this is promising. I'm not, any questions about the head sculpt. I agree with you, Ben. He has a different look from this I believe it's a 1984 film, the first Terminator, compared to 1991 in Terminator 2. And they're really two different films. Now, I prefer Terminator 2 more. It's probably one of the greatest action adventure films ever made. But the first Terminator ain't no slouch. And the first Terminator film is more of a sci-fi horror film.
It is 100%.
And to me,
he's terrifying
actually,
in the first movie.
They're very similar. I mean, different stories, but it's very similar in some ways to Alien 1 and Aliens. That the first Alien is more of a horror. It's a horror film, sci-fi horror, and Aliens is a kind of World War II film in space. So I love them both, just like I love the first two Alien films. And as far as I'm concerned, in terms of the Terminator franchise, there's these two films, and then that's it. Though the third Terminator, that film, the ending of that is a pretty good ending. The rest of the film is kind of mid. I'm excited for this. I'm gonna get it. In terms of the endoskeleton, I probably why I have some hesitancy of pre-ordering the Hot Toys one is I want to get more information of when is this one coming out? How what are the details? What's the price point? How long will it take? I'll probably end up getting the Hot Toys version just because I think that's going to come out sooner, and I don't necessarily need to have it all 100% diecast. I'm fine with what Hot Toys is offering, but I think this is, if you're a Terminator fan, you're eating pretty well. And like I said, I have 3 Terminator figures. I want to get the endoskeleton. I want to get this, and I'd love to see a John Connor and a Sarah Connor and a Kyle Reese. I'm all in on the Terminator stuff.
I think if I could be mistaken, but I think that one of the first, if not the first, Hot Toys figure that was made licensed was Kyle Reese. So it's interesting to me that we recently had the 25-year celebration. If they'd had the T1 license, I think that would have been a really good option to go back and do an official 2.0 on, because that's pretty crazy. I'll try to pull up that link as well and see if I can find that original Hot Toys Kyle Reese option. This was the PT Studios one. Sorry, let me review this. Add this in here. This is the $4,000 one. that these people were mentioning here on the chat. I mean, it looks pretty good. Looks pretty freaking good. But I will say, if I spent $4,000 on this and then I saw how good the Hot Toys and Inart one look, I think I'd be pissed. Even if there's only 10 of these worldwide. This looks great, but I don't know. I just don't have the eye for it.
Just add a little bit more and get the life-size one from Sideshow.
Yeah. What was that, like 12K?
No, I don't think it's that high.
Oh no! You're right. It's like 1,200. I'm way off. Whoa.
It looks pretty freaking good. It does look pretty good. But anybody else, any thoughts on T1? Then before we go over to Superman here, I was curious though. Inart versus Hot Toys. Let us know, guys, in the chat. Are either of these companies winning in your hearts, or are you going to do a both? Right? Is it a this or that or both? Tell me where you're at in the chat, and I'll put those on the screen as we go on to the next topic. Any other panelists here on T1 though? Going once, going twice, and let's move on to Mr. Superman. So I will say, I have been very, very, very excited for an update to Christopher Reeve Superman. I've got the Hot Toys one in behind me. I love that figure. I love how colorful he is, pops on the shelf, and the figure is really no slouch. It's showing its age to a certain extent. You can tell it's one of my older Hot Toys, but if you have a love for Christopher Reeve as Superman, it's hard not to love that figure in the display. I feel like Inart teased, the 2-pack of these guys like years ago now, and maybe that's a little exaggerated. It probably wasn't that long, but it does feel like it's been taking a while to see some updates. From what I can tell, they've changed some of the coloration of the outfit. It was a lot more like, I want to say almost like tealy blue in their original solicitation or like preview of the figure. They've made some changes there. On the red underwear, the actual Superman himself on screen had a little bit more of a rounded cut on the underwear, on the red underwear anyways, around his legs. That would be my only change, I think. Otherwise, I think this looks like Chris Reeve. I think it looks fantastic. I love the Clark Kent representation with him pulling his shirt open like that. Like, that is so sweet. This will definitely be something that I buy as soon as you're allowed to put dollars on it. I would love to see a 2-pack of these guys in my display, and eventually maybe move that Hot Toys version on. But I was curious, Mr. Adam, I know you're a Superman guy, Christopher Reeve guy as well. Are you getting excited for this finally, and what was your thoughts on what we're seeing preview?
So 2 years ago when they previewed this, they had my attention. Inart had my attention. Now they have my interest. And I have to say that next to the Holy Star Wars trilogy, the first 2 Superman movies with Christopher Reeve are, probably my 2 favorite geek IPs of all time. And I have such great memories of seeing the first Superman movie opening day when I was in kindergarten. My parents taking me, getting off the bus. I remember telling my bus driver, I'm going to see Superman. And we went, and then I saw Superman 2 opening day in second grade, I think. So I love Christopher Reeve's portrayal of Superman, and to my view, he's the GOAT. The Superman figure itself and in his outfit looks amazing, but it's what really sells me is Clark Kent opening up his shirt. That is just incredible. I like you, Ben. I have the Hot Toys version, and it's still a really good figure. I probably won't sell that. I just have it as another figure. But listen, I'm not always like the day one pre-order, but this is going to be day one pre-order for me. This has now become my most anticipated figure, right? Or figures, these 2. I can't wait for these to go on sale. I think they look incredible. So excited. And just like his face sculpt with that kind of smirk that he has, the Clark Kent version just looks so good. And even like the look on Superman, reminds me when he has one of the great scenes in the film, the interview with Lois Lane on her balcony, and just the kind of playfulness he has in that interview with her. Just one of the great scenes in the film. Yes, Lois, I love pink. Just
yeah.
I can't wait to get these figures. I think this is some of the best right now I think the Wolverine is probably the best 1/6 figure I have. These two might give Wolverine a run for the money if they're coming out with anything like this.
Yeah, Caveman 27 says not a Reeve Superman guy, but he's so iconic that it'll be hard to resist ordering. Totally agree. And Trevor says, I almost have every TV and movie Superman as a figure, but I don't have a Reeve yet, which is, whichever company gives it to me first, right? And like, that's the thing. Will Hot Toys respond with a 2.0 representation of their Chris Reeve? I would not be surprised if I'm honest.
Is this a worldwide license or is it just...
I don't know, actually. I don't know if anybody knows in the chat if this is supposed to be worldwide or not. That'd be helpful. Somebody said, I forgot who mentioned it, that the S on the chest on the opening shirt looks a little bit on the small side. So I pulled up the reference photo. I could agree with that, actually. I honestly think maybe you're right. I think that does look just a little bit on the small side, but not necessarily a deal breaker. I don't think. Not necessarily a deal breaker. I think it looks pretty freaking cool. X-Men, Dave, what about you? Are you a Superman guy or a Christopher Reeve guy? And no shade if you're not. I mean, it's older school now, but I mean, still pretty iconic representation of the character. Is this something you'd want to collect?
Oh yeah, man. Like, see, when I was a kid, I was one of those cool, edgy guys who thought Superman was boring. But then, like, the Doomsday thing happened, and I got my hands on that, and I read that, and I never cried reading a comic book in my friggin' life. But that right there, man, that got me, dude. That got me so bad. And like, I followed Superman a lot more after that they did that, which props to them. They did their job. But no, Superman is a super cool character. Christopher Reeve is. I just got my first Inart figure in the Cavill Superman, and I love him. I love him so much. And there's no way I can have Cavill and not have Reeve. You can't have a Superman if you don't have Christopher Reeve, right? So I definitely will be getting my hands on this. I got a whole plan for a whole shelf with the old school guys like Reeve and Linda Carter. And I got Adam West already up there. It's about to go down. It's about to go down with the 60s, 70s, 80s superheroes on my shelf. It's gonna be awesome.
That's awesome, dude. Such an iconic look. Such an iconic look to have in the display. It feels very much like the history of Superman, right? What about you, Field of Burn, Mr. Robert? What do you think on what we're being teased here from these guys? Finally, again, 2 years. Feels like a long time to be waiting for this thing to get announced. But we've even seen the newest Superman, who just got his own film, get its own figure before Chris Reeve. Like, how does that make sense? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't get that. It's like this should have been up first before that corn sweat Superman. And honestly, I'm actually thinking of canceling it because since I know this is coming soon. So, because I mean, like, this is my childhood right here. This is where I grew up. Like, even the crappy sequels, I enjoy them to a certain extent. Well, the last one, we don't talk about that. But yeah, like, this is my childhood. This is what I grew up on. I love Christopher Reeve. I was excited when they said they were going to do this because I never owned, Christopher Reeve Superman. The only Superman I have is Cavill, and I'm sure most people can guess why I love Cavill. So yeah, but
well, he's a beautiful man.
That's a Superman. Yeah,
Superman,
but
fair.
Yeah, but I'm really excited about Christopher Reeve. It looks so good. I'm excited. Yeah,
Hell
just
yeah,
like Dave.
I can see the excitement in your eyes. That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Just like Dave, I'm happy that Jazz Inc. is going to do a Linda Carter. I already have an Adam West Batman, and then hopefully, Jazz, please don't forget the Helen Slayer Supergirl. Please don't.
They're saying they're going to do it.
Movie.
They're saying they're going to do it. So
yeah,
I'll be curious. Blur Dad Life says,
Day
Dad
one.
Life, one of our channel members, great to see you here, buddy. Says it's nuts that Hot Toys. Love the reference to nuts, by the way. It's nuts that Hot Toys hasn't done a 2.0 Reeve. It remains the personal grail that I'm chasing, longing for. Hell yeah, dude. And then JB says Inart 78 Superman is Asian, Australian, and New Zealand license only, which is interesting to see. Pulps to Pixels says this is going to be my first Inart figure unless Hot Toys comes out first and blows me away. What if they come out at almost the same time though? Which one would you then choose? What would your calculus be? Would it be price? Is it likeness? How do you dial that one in? Because that's kind of what happened with this last Superman, right? They basically gave us the Inart and the Hot Toys one at identical times. I had ended up buying the Hot Toys one and then canceling it, losing my NRD because I wanted the Inart one more, and it's tough to be a collector sometimes. GRS, that's a new name in the chat as well. Good to see you here. He says, I need a George Reeves Superman, maybe even a Kirk Allen. I mean, you might be showing your age there, good sir. I could be wrong, but that's beyond my time, if I'm honest. I don't want to fake it. I don't even want to fake it at that point. I would not be as familiar with those guys. But you know what? Hell yeah. If that's something you'd want, there's probably a customizer out there that could do it. Because X-Men Supreme says George Reeves would be hella cool as well. And what's up, Sterling's Fine Art? Good to see you here, buddy. Jay or Valkyrie, any final thoughts on Superman? And sorry, Adam, feel free to tie in there quick.
Oh, I was going to say really quick for me. Oh, sorry, just going to say, because like for me, I was a huge Superman fan. I mean, like Adam, I saw Superman in the theaters. I was like 5 years old or 6 years old, and I was so excited to see that, and Superman 2. As for me, which one am I going to get, the Hot Toys or the Inart? I'll get them both. I mean, I did that with Henry Cavill. I got both the Inart and the Hot Toys figure as well. I mean, I'm that big of a Superman fan, so I'm pretty excited about it. Can't wait. Yeah, I just can't wait for this. I'm just super excited, and I can't wait to have that in my display. And I might even call it quits after it. No. Oh my
That's it. I'm done with collecting after that. That's the end game. You'll love to see
the famous last words of every collector.
Yeah,
that's right. Adam, you're going to tie in there, buddy?
Yeah, I think if Inart's license does not include North America, I think there's a good chance that Hot Toys is going to come out with this. But the question is, will Hot Toys come out with both Clark Kent and Superman, or are they just going to come out with Superman? For me,
it'll be just Superman.
And I got to have this Clark Kent, so that would just tip it for me in Art's favor, because after seeing this Clark Kent, I got to have the Clark Kent. That's, to me, is more important than the Superman.
My only concern is because Christopher Reeve has been, in my opinion, at least, the only Superman figure that they've gotten right over at Hot Toys. Like, I don't think they've gotten Superman right since then, and especially not compared to what Inart's been doing. That Cavill that Inart did was way leagues above anything that I have seen from Hot Toys. So the question becomes, if they both do it, which of course, is always going to be that head-to-head with Hot Toys and Inart, will Hot Toys do the standard 2.0 thing that they do and kind of fumble it a little bit? Or will they actually step up and make a proper Christopher Reeve? We know that they can. We know that they have. But we've also seen them make good case before, too. So
I've been pretty happy with everything that Inart's done, though, and I don't want to be a fanboy of either company, but I would say that like most of the figures that they've done, if not all, I've been pretty freaking impressed by. So I think that they're a good contender. I think that there's lots to at least be positive and like hopeful for, but could be wrong, right? I mean, it's hard to say. He's such an iconic dude and character that it's just like, man, like you don't want to fuck with that. You don't want to mess that up by any stretch of the imagination. So, and Earman says, plus watching the Superman Christopher Reeve documentary that they released recently, heart touching, man. I tell you, dude, that one brought me to tears for sure. I am not ashamed to say it. It was really good. Jay, I want to quickly go to you, bud. I'm going to just really quickly pull this up. Slight aside, but this is some of your cosplaying here. Tell us about some of these, and I'm going to scroll through these as we go. But you got you and Batman. This is your Harley.
Nice.
which is cool.
That's that boy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was
absolutely.
my birthday gift to myself, April 5th of this year. So
Nice.
picked it
That's
up.
wild,
So for my I did a birthday party here, and Ben was actually at the house.
Yeah.
So we partied probably about until 6:30 in the morning, and then I had
Yeah, it was
to
wild. It was wild.
I had to myself, my partner, and a couple of friends had to sober up, and then drive to Medicine Hat, which is about 2-3 hours away, to pick up my motorcycle. So I had to sober up real quick, get a couple of hours of sleep in there, pick it up before noon, and then ride it back to Calgary.
Mhm.
So this bike has a special place in my heart, just because one, Terminator 2 is my favorite movie of all time, and two, the motorcycle from that movie is what got me riding in the first place, and I've been riding for about 15 years now, and it's a huge thing in my life that people go to the gym, they collect, they do art, do music. For me, it's riding my motorcycle and watching movies, and that's what this is what this community is all about, is loving our hobbies and appreciating what we get.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
That's
Nothing
gold,
makes you
man.
feel, by the way, nothing makes you feel more badass. So I was driving my my Nissan Kicks, which has CertaPro logos all over it, bright yellow car, down the highway the other day towards the mountains. And I had Jay and his buddy riding behind me with their skeleton masks on, or the Punisher look, on their bikes, riding behind me the whole way like an entourage. Coolest feeling ever, having these guys
Nice.
flanking me from behind. And at one point, I'm not even kidding, at one point there was this car on the highway that was just a dink, right? Just, you could tell he was just not respecting being around people who are on motorcycles going 120 kilometers an hour. And Jay pulls up beside this guy and points at him like this. Points at him like, don't be an asshole. Right? And I'm watching this out the back window here, the rearview mirror, and I'm thinking, my God, that guy is definitely shitting his pants right now. Because if you don't know Jay, he's a big muscular dude with this Punisher mask on, like skeleton face. Terrifying. Just pointing at him. Don't be an asshole.
Now you're sharing all my bad habits on the road.
I love it, man. I love it. Sorry, nobody knows. There's only 80 people watching. It's fine. We got Bane here as well. Love to see this one. That's pretty dope. That's a pretty dope one. Jay as the Terminator. Again,
That's
this is back
awesome.
in the cosplay days,
Wow.
right? So,
Oh yeah.
yep.
Looks good.
Hell yeah.
You went as Bane as well?
Yeah, I did quite a few cosplays over the years. I was in it for about 15 years, so it was a journey for sure. There was a lot that I'd done.
Winter Soldier up in there. Even the Jared Leto Joker. That's a pretty wild one. The RoboCop looks sick. Green Ranger. Dread. Fuck yeah.
Dread.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Dude.
Damn.
Dread on the bike would be crazy.
Dread on the bike would be crazy. Yeah, that's intense. Oh my God, this is wild.
Jeez.
Yikes.
Wait, that's serious.
You
That
even
is
shaved your
awesome.
head for this cosplay too. That's pretty.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
commitment.
I shaved my
That's
head.
commitment.
Yeah. And that was the family last year for Halloween. So every year we do a different theme. 2 years ago we did the Power Rangers family. Then last year we did the Bat family. And I think this year we're thinking about doing the Addams family, but we'll see how it goes.
Adam's family.
Ooh.
No, Jay, did you do the Bane voice?
Oh yeah, I did. Absolutely.
Oh, you have to.
Oh, I did.
Can you give us a sample?
Oh man, putting me on the spot.
Sorry.
Doesn't matter who.
This is the most jacked Green Ranger I've ever seen. Love to see it. Yeah, it's very swole. Very swole. Looks pretty sweet though.
Wrong.
Man,
multiples
cosplay looks
there.
so much fun. Cosplay
Yeah.
looks like so much fun.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah, dude. Thanks for sharing those with us, man. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Awesome.
Thank you for sharing. Pull this back up here. What was your thoughts on the Christopher Reeve Superman, buddy? Mr. J. Oh, did we lose him?
Oh, so for Christopher Reeve.
Oh, yeah.
So here's the thing. Like, when I was younger, I didn't like Superman as much. I was always that Batman guy. Always Batman, always Batman. But as I got older, I found myself leaning towards Superman and I guess liking him more as a character, to understand why he was made, and I understood the whole humanity part of him. And it's weird because with Inart, if I remember correctly, this was announced at least during a little bit after Joker was either announced or released. I can't remember which one, but it's interesting why it's taking so long. I don't understand why. I'm hoping it's because they're making constant improvements, but the fact that the David Superman got a pre-order before this one, I don't know. It's
kind of wild, eh?
It's weird. It's like a red flag almost. It's like, hey, are you just actually like super perfecting this to the point where it's going to be significantly more expensive? Hopefully not. But like, what's causing the delay? Like, it's 2 years, right?
My only speculation to that point is like maybe just capitalizing on the hype, right? The new Superman film's out, everybody's talking about it. Whereas if you're a Christopher Reeve fan, you're a Christopher Reeve fan for life. It doesn't matter whether it's a year or 2 years ago or 2 years from now, sort of thing. Like if you're gonna buy it, you'll probably buy it. Whereas if you're not locked in on David Cornsweet as it's the hype train is on, like maybe that's could be a reason. I don't know.
Yeah, no, for sure. It could be, yeah.
I think the other thing too is they were, Inart kind of went through some growing pains, and they had some real issues initially of getting their product to customers in a timely fashion. And it seems like, from what I don't see those complaints anymore. So it seems like they've focused on their production and distribution and being realistic of getting the product out in realistic timeframes. So maybe they, like what Ben, like you're saying, well, there's always gonna be a market, for Christopher Reeve Superman. Let's put him on the back burner to concentrate on other things and get our stuff together.
True. Yeah, very true. Very true. Was that your was that all your thoughts though, Jay? I didn't mean to cut you off, buddy.
Well, no, that's pretty much it. It's going to be a day one pre-order for sure. I want to have all the Superman iterations on my shelf. Whether if it's a single or a dual pack, either one, yeah, no, I'll definitely be picking it up. As soon as Inart teased it years ago, I actually sold my Hot Toys Christopher Reeve Superman. So here's to hoping it releases, or at least the pre-orders comes out soon.
Yeah, totally, man. Totally. And we got 12-inch Moose Dream with the $2 super chat. Says, Ben, check your messenger for George Reeves and Kirk Allen. So let's give you a BAM first, Mr. Moose.
Damn! Peanut butter and jam!
Thanks for the super chat, good sir. Let's do a quick share here. Let's see. Where is it? Oh, here we go. This is 12-inch Moose Dream with the Superman display. This looks freaking cool, man. That looks great. Moose, tell us where you got this figure from, man. We'd love to,
that looks really
know.
good.
Is it Kit Bash? It looks really, really good. Oh, we got a few more here. Can you guys still see this on screen? Yeah.
Wow.
That was
Black and white. That's awesome.
The black and white. That's really cool looking. Very cool. Thanks for the share, buddy. Thank you for the share. Let's get back here to this. All right, guys. I think we'll stick to this for one final topic, and then I've got one or two more things to just show everybody really quickly because I thought they were fun. I think this is probably going to be the most divisive of all the Inart showings, though, is of course, Ben Affleck Batman, right? I mean, we just got the 2.0 representation of Batfleck from Hot Toys. A lot of people really, really liked the figure. I've got the fear of missing out. I need a Batfleck in my display. And I figured Inart was going to give us this eventually. I don't think I like the head sculpt as much as I would have expected from Inart yet. But again, we don't have necessarily high resolution photos. These photos aren't bad, but they're clearly in passing on the display. So to whoever shared these, still thank you. But I'm not totally sold on the Ben Affleck sculpt itself. However, I think that the suited up cowled look does look phenomenal and might have been worth the wait. But I'd be curious, is your Hot Toys 2.0 now going to be a shelf warmer until this one comes along? Or are you happy enough with the 2.0? Anybody that has the 2.0 from Hot Toys, let us know in the chat. Is it a shelf warmer? Oh, Adam's showing us here. Is it a shelf warmer waiting for this new one? Or are you happy with what you got? Adam, to you first, buddy. What do you think?
So I gotta give attaboys to Inart for the Terminator figures, the first Terminator, and without question, the Christopher Reeve figure, as we just discussed, Superman, Clark Kent. But I just got this, and I tell you, this is it's not the best. It's not figure of the year. It's definitely not figure of the year, but it's an underdog candidate for in the top 5 figures of this year. In my view, very surprising figure. I think it's an awesome figure. The Hot Toys 2.0 Batfleck figure. In my view, they done a good job, Hot Toys, on this. What do I need this for? I don't know. I now again, I kind of wish Inart would just focus on things that no one else is doing. So if Hot Toys isn't doing Terminator 1, yeah, that's a good option for you to complement for people who want Terminator 1 and Terminator 2, because Hot Toys is doing T2, do T1. Christopher Reeve Superman, there's a market for that without question. Do those. Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Dune. Stick to product that we're not getting elsewhere. Don't give us more of the same, because I just think that's kind of wasting our time. Now, I don't know if this is a worldwide license or just an Asia specific and Australia license. But for me, I got no reason, and I love Batfleck, but I got him. I don't need another. So that's kind of my take on it.
That's fair. Ash Chase with the fiery take says, "This is trash. Inart's a joke." Oh, them fighting words, buddy. Them fighting words. I'm just kidding. All opinions are valid. Let's be honest. I think both are good. I don't think this is trash. If I'm honest, I think it looks pretty good. But but fair. What do you think, Adam? Sorry, not Adam. Dave, what do you think, buddy? Do you think it's too early to have a gut check on this? I've seen Trevor Weed here, for example, saying this is an early in-person figure tease. Inart's not posting the pictures of Batflex themselves. It's early. We should still wait and see how they actually roll it out. Do you agree with Trevor? Is this too early to tell?
Oh, sure, yeah. Prototypes are prototypes, and there's always a difference. There's been very few times that I've seen in my short time, 3 years of doing this, that you rarely get a 1-to-1, where it's the same as a prototype. I've seen it happen once or twice, I think, but like that friggin' Black Adam was phenomenal. From concept to production, he was great, I think, from what I've seen. But I think this looks really good. Outside of the Ben Affleck sculpt, there's something Doug funny about that. But like the suit, I think looks
maybe.
Yeah, he looks like someone said it looks like he's melting, and I see that. But I think the suit looks great. I think he looks really good. But just like Adam, I went straight in for the 2.0 from Hot Toys, and I think that's a phenomenal figure. The only thing that I think could be better on that is his hands. His hands do look a little small.
Interesting.
On the Hot Toy, I think.
Normally the Hot Toy says big hands.
Like the fists do look a little bit tiny. But other than that, like I'm so happy with that. I love that so much. He's more ideally proportioned, I think, outside of the hands than what we got in the movie. And this right here, even, they widened out that neck a little bit more, and I don't think it's quite as wide as what he had in the movie, but that's a good thing, I think, because while he could turn his neck, he almost didn't have a neck. So there's got to be a middle ground somewhere, and I think this figure looks great. I think anyone who's getting it is going to be happy as hell with it. I think for the continuity's sake, with Superman, the bases are going to be similar. So you're going to have that if you use bases. I don't. But if you use bases and you're going to have them stand next to each other, that's going to be great. But for me, this 2.0 works great with the Inart Superman, and I love it. I think it's fantastic. So I don't need this, but I'm not mad at it.
That's fair. Robert, do you mind checking private chat really quick? Jay, what are your thoughts here on Batfleck? Is this a necessary purchase if you had the 2.0, or do you think you can live with the 2.0? from Hot Toys?
I think X-Men hit a good point with the continuity, just because they released the Henry, and then now they did the pre-order for Wonder Woman. So he's the last missing piece of the puzzle. I have all of the Hot Toys Ben Affleck, but I've never been really happy with him. I love the character so much, and how he looks and everything is one of the reasons why I bought him. Pretty much all of them. But the fact that Inart is doing their take on it, I believe is something that the diehard collector, like, I guess in quotation, diehard collector or Ben Affleck fans would be most wanting out of Inart because of that, if that makes any sense. But it's such a love-hate relationship when it comes to Hot Toys, because even with a 2.0, I was kind of like, meh, it's all right. Like, the body still sucks, in my opinion. And I did cancel my pre-order for the 2.0 because of the tease that Inart did. So I'm just hoping that they deliver with that head sculpt. It does need a little bit of tweaks here and there, but I remember clear as day seeing the promo photos and like the behind the scenes pictures with Ben Affleck wearing the bat suit without the cowl on. Like, he looks pretty close to what we see here, right? And he was younger at that time too, not like the Snyderverse where you could tell he lost significant weight and his cheeks are sunk in. This one is pretty accurate, I would say.
That's fair. Trevor says, as long as they nail the suit proportions and the faceplate, I think most people will give the full head sculpt some leeway. The full head sculpt looks a little third party to me, at least in this prototype representation, which is interesting. Pulp to Pixel says, Inart has certainly reworked the Superman over the last 2 years and has made a real nice figure. The original one saw a couple years ago was a hard pass. The likeness and the suit color definitely agree with on that one. Ash J says the mask is good, but the head sculpt is way off for the Batman here. I mean, on both. I think there's a win for both here. I think that they could retool that sculpt just a little bit. Robert, what do you think about Inart versus Hot Toys, the debate around it? Do you feel like it makes sense why certain collectors are so passionate one company or the next, or are you the type of collector that, like, whoever gives us the best representation wins? And what was your thought on this Batfleck?
I will say this. If you're a person who don't care about little details or accuracy or whatever, Hot Toys is for you. For someone like me, who's a stickler for accuracy on what I see on film, I trust Inart more. I mean, like the head sculpt. I mean, who's really going to display their Batman with the head sculpt? And this is not even the final sculpt. So everybody just gotta chill down, because we know there's going to be improvements. This probably won't even be announced this year. It'll probably be next year, because I heard like they're going to lighten up the suit and do all sorts of other stuff. But I mean, yeah, I mean, it's kind of stupid to be a war. I mean, you know, some people rather it's just budgetary reasons, or they just don't have the eye for, you know, every little minute detail. I mean, if you don't care about that, Hot Toys is great for you. I'm happy for people who got the 2.0. You know, it's still a great figure. But for me, like this, the body is right. The proportions is just perfect. And like the gauntlets, I mean, people are buying freaking gauntlet, you know, custom gauntlets for their 2.0s. And it's like, well, I already know this figure was coming out. That's why I held off on buying the 2.0. I was like, yes, I know they're going to get it right. Even if it takes like a couple of years, I can wait. It's no harm in waiting. But I mean, like I said, it shouldn't be a war. People like what they like. If you don't care about accuracy, go with Hot Toys. If you do, and you want the best of the best, go with Inart. And that's just my short opinion on it, the whole thing. And that's just with any figure in general. So.
I challenge that a little bit. I think Hot Toys does a really good job of accuracy as well. Where I do see Hot Toys sometimes take a bit of a backseat on the accuracy side, or even the likeness side, may just be in the fact that they give us so many figures every single year, right? I mean, we're talking 80 plus figures a year, whereas Inart is only giving us 4, 5, maybe. Like, I could be a little off there, but not very many. So, like, for the amount that Inart gives us, if they were not absolutely nailing every single figure that they put out, I think collectors would light the company on fire, right? Because it would just be like, what the hell are we waiting for then? If you're going to do 5 figures a year, they better be freaking amazing. Hot Toys I give them a little bit of a pass just because of how many they give us every year, and I still think the quality is excellent either way. But I would agree with you on the sense, Robert, that like there are certain characters that if they're your favorite character, I love the fact that there's competition between both companies, because I do think that, you know, a rising tide floats all boats. If you've got good competition next to Hot Toys or vice versa, the chances of that figure being that much better when they finally put it out is there. That's why I was so excited to see the Terminators having some Inart pressure as well, right? Because it just makes me feel like Hot Toys as a company then has to dial themselves up to 11 just to make sure that collectors still continue to choose them. But on the other hand, I also think that, like, for me at least, in my own displays and collections, most of the time I'm the only one who ever sees my own display. So I don't care what the brand name is on the package as long as they give me the figure that I'm looking for, right? Like I said at the beginning of the show today, I just got the 630 Power Rangers. They're not the greatest figures. The bodies underneath definitely feel a little on the cheap side. But man, do they make great representations of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So for me, that nostalgia button is like nailed. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm so happy I got them in my display. But when I compare them to other figures, the quality is not quite the same. So I think it might just depend, again, on whether Inart or Hot Toys is doing your favorite character. And if that's the case, then I think the details definitely make a big difference. It's part of the reason why people will still buy J&D at the wild-ass prices they're putting their figures out for. Because if that's your favorite character, hey, you might be willing to pay those extra couple bucks to do it. Or even consider, potentially, like I did with the Joker, maybe a custom route instead. So yeah, rising tide floats all boats. I totally get your opinion as well, Robert, for sure. I think well said, buddy. But I definitely see the appeal of both companies depending on the character you're going after. So great discussion, guys. The only other things that I'd had on the show sheet today were these guys from Harry Potter. I know that there was a little bit of speculation of the Snape being downgraded in terms of the quality from what we saw from Prototype. To me, it looks like an entirely different figure, so I'm wondering if we're going to get a different representation of him. Even his outfit in this photo on the right looks a little on the blue side, whereas the photo we've seen from Inart from Inart so far has been much more of a black-looking outfit underneath and a bit of a different-looking sculpt. So again, this could just be lighting. It could be saturation of the photo. It's hard to really say, if I'm honest.
It really is the lighting. It really is.
It does look worse, but I'm hoping it's just the lighting for sure. The only other piece this was something I put on the show sheet before all the news this week, but this is a life-size Catwoman, Selena Kyle, and I mean, Anne Hathaway is a beautiful woman. This definitely looks like Anne Hathaway to me. Can you imagine having this in your display room, a life-size freaking Catwoman? Like, this is crazy. This is from Queen Studios.
That's the fastest route to a divorce, I would say.
No doubt, right? Like, sorry, honey, I'm putting Catwoman in the basement with me.
Yeah.
You know,
No. In the bedroom. What do you mean?
Yeah, that's true. Fair.
I wouldn't wake up beside
that. And then, of course, the Joker bust from Queen Studios as well. I thought was amazing. So worthy of at least a quick props to them.
These look great.
Definitely a shout out. These look freaking crazy good. So,
and now some of their busts move. Some of their busts move. Like that.
That's insane.
That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. That looks so good. So but guys, that is the show today. Thank you so much for joining us. To my panelists and the chat, we had over 75 people watching at one point, almost 80 people live. Thanks so much for getting nuts with us, guys. If you don't mind hitting the like button on the way out the door, if you don't want to stay for the rest of the show to chat with all the guys here. But Adam 12th, what's happening on your YouTube channel, sir, that you're excited about to tell everybody about this week?
Check out, I have the unboxing. I did a quick unboxing of the new Hot Toys brown and tan suit Wolverine. It's a really good figure. You know, some of the early we talked earlier about blogger photos and videos that Hugh Jackman head sculpt for it was it was very scene specific, but my initial reaction was kind of like, I don't know. But I'll tell you, when I had it in hand, I think the head sculpt looks really good.
Good to know.
Right now, I'm displaying him with the mask on, but I think I'm gonna use that head sculpt and maybe use some blue tack and jury rig that to my Days of Future Past Wolverine, and see how that looks. Because I think it's a pretty good head sculpt. But check out that video. And
cool.
great panel tonight. Glad to be back after a couple weeks hiatus here, and look forward to seeing you guys soon.
Hell yeah. Just so you guys know, my stepsister is in town next weekend from Ontario. I don't know if I'm going to stream on Sunday, but stay tuned. If enough cool news comes up this week, maybe I'll bring her on the show with me. So she's a wild influencer person who travels the world and does fitness and all the things. So maybe she'll have some takes on the toys if we want to bring them on. So, but we may or may not be back next week. We'll definitely be back the following week either way, just in case. And please go and follow One Adam 12th on YouTube. For his awesome content there. Mr. X-Men Supreme, anything coming up for you, buddy, this week that you're excited about?
Oh man, yeah. At some point, I'm going to be seeing my So-So Toys Peacemaker accessory set finally.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
That was only a year and a half behind.
Yeah.
For a couple of guns and a shield and a mediocre head sculpt. Got to really perfect crafting that stuff, But other than that, other than that craziness, gonna be on the Canon Council here in a couple of hours, about an hour.
Nice.
8:00 Central Time. Should be hitting that up. So we'll be over there doing the same thing we did here, only slightly differently.
I thought it was Friday nights. Did I get that wrong? I thought it was Friday.
It's usually
nights.
Friday nights now, but we're doing it tonight. Yeah.
Just tonight.
Birthday stream.
Okay.
Birthday stream, yeah.
For
Gio's birthday?
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, happy birthday, Gio. Everybody write happy birthday to Gio in the chat if he's still watching. Hell yeah. That's awesome, buddy. And X-Men, dude, thanks for being back. Adam as well. Guys, I love you guys. Thanks for being here every Sunday with me, taking your time out of your weekend. I really, really appreciate you guys for that. Mr. Field Burn, Robert, same to you, buddy. Thank you so much for taking your time on a Sunday, buddy, to be with us. Anything coming up for you that you're excited about?
Right now, man, I got some big ticket items that I need to start paying off on, like the double pack Catwoman, the Tumbler, the Penguin, and I got a custom blade I'm getting. So yeah, I haven't been really pre-ordering as much as I used to because I want to get these paid off as soon as possible so I don't put any more stress on my brain. So yeah. But other than that, yeah, I'll be on Gio's stream tonight. Y'all come on down, wish him a happy birthday. Yeah.
But you guys, you're all like the village bicycle. Everybody's getting a ride. I'd love to see it. So, yeah, that's awesome. No, dude, all jokes aside, love you guys. Robert, awesome takes today.
Not me
buddy.
in college.
Thanks for being here. Not me in college, she says. You'll love to see it. Mr. J, Mysterio Miotics, what's going on with your YouTube channel, man? Are you coming back? Are you going to make a return? You were on fire there for a little bit of the show, and then you had to take some time to ride the bike all summer. But now we're getting into cold season here in Calgary. So what's going on for you?
Yeah, well, no, life took over. Had a promotion at work. Took up all of my time. I barely have time for the family as well, but riding season is also coming to an end, so I'll be focusing a lot more on YouTube channel, on the content. I have a notebook full of ideas. I got a bunch of figures I haven't even opened yet, and I also have probably like 8 coming in within the next couple of months here. So I'm going to be busy doing some reviews. I got a couple companies who reached out for some sponsorship. So I'm in a good position, and I'm more than comfortable, and I have more than enough content to come back and keep people entertained and up to date. So yeah, no, be on the lookout. I will be back.
And Jay is not afraid to give a spicy take, guys. He's going to tell you how he feels. So stay tuned for Mysterio Miotics YouTube channel. Please go over and subscribe there, just like it shows in his screen name. Some great stuff there, and a good friend of mine, and I would appreciate it if you guys support him, just like you guys support me all the time. So thank you so so much, dude. Thanks for being back as always. Glad to
you.
see it. Maybe I'll see you this week at the movies. I got to figure that out still if I can make that work, but we'll be in touch. So, Mr. Valkyrie Magnus, rock adjacent, man of work, always getting around with the YouTube channels. You know what I found out yesterday, Valkyrie, that you're in my top 10 of YouTube commenters. So of all the videos, I've almost done 1,000 videos on the Ben Thomas Show. You're in the top 10 people who comment on my videos. So just so you guys know, and when you guys put comments on there, I try to respond to as many as I can, but I see all of them, and I always appreciate your support, including you, Mr. Valkyrie Magnus. Anything coming up for you you're excited about this week, buddy?
What do you call it? The days are getting shorter again. I was gonna say I did this kind of fun photo shoot where I took a few of my figures and a blur to the beach, so I can have that sort of deal.
Nice.
And then,
Nice.
I saw that right now there's a sale for blurgs, and it's like $200 shipped, no tax. And I'm like contemplating, do I need a second blurg? Of course, my wife said no, but we'll see what happens. If not, I think that'd be kind of cool to have like two side by side, maybe have like Luke and Obi-Wan or something like that. So we'll see if that happens. I'll let you know if I pull it off.
You might be able to use AI. You might be able to use AI to say, "Hey, take the blurg in this photo and duplicate it in the photo or something." You might be able to. You know, it might be cheaper for an AI subscription than a whole extra blurg, but I could be wrong.
You could do 3 blurgs.
You could do 3 blurgs.
Oh yeah, because usually it's like $300, but it's like $200, no tax, no shipping. And I'm like, wow, that's so tempting. I don't need 2 blurgs though.
No, I don't think nobody needs 3 blurgs. 2 blurgs would be cool. I don't think anybody needs 3 blurgs. But dude, Valkyrie, thanks for being back, man. As always, happy to have you here, and your energy always brings some positivity to the show. So definitely appreciate it, guys. Let's say thank you to the Classy Nut crew. We got Alvin J, Honest Hansel, Money Mendez, Harry Dempsey, 6 Scale Mafia, 1/6 Figure Focus, Parks Industries, King Dingling, Jose G Hernandez, The Real Tex Conway, Collection Obsession, The Movie Canon, Mr. Geo, Happy Birthday, Figurecraft, Jim Collector, Don Maton, Alex Serrato, Pop Culture Relics, Daniel SC, Ryan Smith, Collector Joey, Sam Gist, Rachel Miller, Mike in Cali, Figure in a Bubble, Doug Guito, Blurred Dad Life, Alex Serrato, Pliskin Incorporated, Andreas IB, Earth 616 Collector, Tony Tom, Saphira Cosplay, Aaron Broverman, Big Rip, as Dean would say, Big Dog Pound 1, Akira, Monroe, Corbeil, Stoned Capybara, Vita, aka her geeky side. Make sure you follow her on Instagram, by the way. Amazing photos from her and her man Jim Collector. Just putting it out there. Fielder Burn, as always, here with us on the channel and on the panel as well. Love to see it. Fig Poser, and then of course our Nut Kings here, our very special channel members, the SpongeBob Square Balls, Mr. Classy Thomas. Love you, buddy. We miss you every day, every single week. Collecting Weekly, the Batman 12-inch Moose Dream, X-Men Supreme, Peter Cass, Valkyrie Magnus, Ron E, 1 Adam 12, Sith Scale Collector, OG Fan, when Star Wars was just Star Wars, Manny Fresh, 369, Trevor Weed, and Tijuana Mike, aka King Churro. Guys, if you haven't become a channel member, would love to have you here. Our panelists always would love to see you guys in the chat as well. But either way, even if you're just here watching, whether it's on replay or in the panel today, like on the way out the door, if you don't mind, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. I think it's about 40% of my Let's Get Nuts audience is not subscribed yet. So let me know what I need to do to get you guys to click that button for free. I would really appreciate it because we love you guys. We love your faces. Let's be honest here. Mr. Adam, 1 Adam 12th. I think it's safe to say, buddy, we got nuts. And thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good weekend.
Wow, what a great audience. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Subscribing makes you feel good. Where's my go? What do I do?
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a